The festival is nigh!
All right, so it's time to get underway for definitely the first time between Helios and Stocko. Here we go, Rambler, center square.
I'm gonna bet this is the time that gets Smithing plus 12. That was clearly
I'll
a
go
mistake.
Rinola for summons. Kill two troll bosses is the center square, so Helios' arch nemesis, the 5-time Bulls, Carry, and Knight potentially going to come into play. Looking at the fast squares, though, this board's definitely a bit faster than the other one. We do have Box Needle, top left, also with Caves. That would be a nice synergy early. And the Falling Star Beast. Row 2, we have 10 Crackpots, 2 Crucible Knights, and Loretta. Row 3, we have Paintings and Trolls, which are fast. Also, Ronaldo won off the center, so I was almost right. Vike, which is another quick one in row 4, as well as Agil, Topski, Staves. Overall, it is definitely a faster board, but we also do have some late game that's going to play into a lot. We have Remembrance Boss, Remembrance Weapon, 3 different Remembrances, Blackblade Kindred, Valiant Gargs. We have multiple Altus squares with the Invade and Defeat Magnus the Beast Claw, Draconic Tree Sentinel, 4 Deathroot to Gurranq is very late, 12 Incantations is better with Altus. Definitely some very interesting ideas on this board. It does seem earlier, though, than the last one. Rambler, what's your take?
I think there's a very good argument here that you want to rush troll bosses as your first square, which is funny because it is a square that usually is not the first one, even when the board is very late and there's nothing. But I think that top right diagonal is very strong. It's very strong because if you get troll bosses and you go for tops after, you're forcing your opponent into an underground play potentially, or into Stormveil play for Crucible Knights, and you can clean a lot of other things. Like Stormveil is not very strong, but Academy is, because you have tops, you have a potential way to access Altus, and you're probably not gonna do that like very early because there's so much that is easy here. Like even a Gil, I think I would postpone to progress Liurnia, make sure I have a weapon, and then go for trolls. If there is nothing, then maybe you can start thinking about finishing pots, maybe doing a box needle. But if there's something that you can kill the trolls fast enough, you should go for it.
Mm-hmm. Also, so Stocko here starts with Crackpots. I think Helios started with Lands Between Run.
Yeah, that might
he did. He did.
Yeah, that might be his play. There is Regalia of Aokade on Stocko's class.
Okay.
While Helios has Hammer.
Helios has Hammer with wieldable Bloodflame Blade. So he can put Bloodflame on his hammer right away if he wants to.
This will be an Agil play. Probably.
One other thing that could come into fact, there's potential for a triple mark late with 3 Remembrances, Ancestor Spirit, and Remembrance. Like if you kill Godric,
for that matter.
Yeah, or Renala. Like if you kill Godric and there's nothing good, and then you kill Radahn, after that, get something good, use that on Moose. And actually, a lot of the Remembrance weapons are pretty good on Moose because the Regal Ancestor Spirit is quite weak to both Holy and Fire, which a lot of the Remembrance weapons do that type of elemental damage.
I am not 100% sure, but I think it's Flamberge.
That is Flamberge for Stocko.
Okay, so that's a good weapon to do trolls early if he needs to. Agil is gonna be an instant block on the column, so maybe he can go for pots a bit later. But I think trolls is still kind of like very pivotal because of the board position, obviously, and also because it promotes you going to Liurnia. You could go and find your blocks everywhere in Liurnia, right? Like you can get incants, like books for incants. You can get Memory of Grace out of Renala if you need. You can get Loretta as a square. Loretta into Onyx Lord is very strong on the same column as well. So I think moving into Liurnia, securing that center square, and then going for whatever your opponent left for you is the play here.
Yeah, and Helios is making the Agil play. I'm curious. I feel like with your weapon wieldable, starting with lands between run rather than crackpots with crackpots on the board, that just feels like an objective mistake to me. What do you think?
I I think he doesn't have any intention of going for bots. He's like saving himself the trouble. Remember that like a Gil will give you over 5,000 runes. He will get then 8,000 runes. That might be enough to put a weapon online faster. And he has blood going for bots is like if he gets something that like a good smithing weapon that is that can receive that might work better than just like going for the pots.
Yep. So I apologize about that double audio there for a second. Helios gets the first stagger on Agil. The Blood Flame Blade is going to be really nice. But, oh, he does just barely get the repose. This could be a...
That was close.
Yeah. If he gets a bleed here, this should just do it.
He should, because it's delayed with the Blood Flame.
Yep, there it is.
Turning to 80, you need to the foot. Then
This might be the fastest hammer on Gil.
It will some torrent. Treat him
with
Okay.
That also gives information
Yeah.
that is very valuable to Stocko. He didn't start with Lambage because it's not yieldable with 3 levels apparently. And also that maybe he didn't even start with the pots because why would you if you're planning on doing a Gil, right? Like you're gonna lose the square any time.
Yeah, Stocko seemed pretty fine with that mark from Helios there. And I think Stocko's just going to run the smithing route early, which I really don't hate. Flamberge is a great sword with bleed. It's one of the best smithing weapons in the game. Overall, smithing route is slightly longer, right? But if you do it along the way, it's really not that bad.
With Flamberge, he could do that, like, do it very fast to get a +7 Flamberge and do the trolls very fast with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very quickly. And like
even +4.
And I like it because it is consistent, right? Like the smithing route is always there to you. In picking it up early, even if it like in a way it's almost like worst case scenario, there's a good weapon at round table, you just upgrade it to like +4 to kill the trolls and then you move on to something else, right? That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, there's not a good weapon. Helios is struggling to find one and you have a +12 Flamberge, which is one of the best smithing weapons, period.
Yeah, I think I would in Stockholm's place probably like try to get a +4 or +5 online for balls, and then into that get the other troll, and then maybe go for tops or maybe go for Loretta. What he definitely should not do now is skip the check on the halberd and the check on the merchant, because he has time to do that even if he wants to do pots.
Yeah. It looks like Helios here is going for paintings.
I don't hate it. It's gonna block the center square on the row, right? And it is what we were expecting from Helios. I think he is thinking about shutting the board as fast as possible. And paintings is a good square to do that because he puts himself in all the regions that are going to be important. This board is not very heavy altus. You can postpone your preparation to go to that region. Pretty much like it's only GTS, Magnus, and the things that are related to killing Radon, like guards, maybe remembrance, and three remembrances. So you don't need to go to Altus immediately. You need to be able to be in contention for it, obviously, but not that early to think about like how it's going to be the process of getting there.
And we see the greatsword check there for Helios. It is Gargoyle's Blackblade, which is, I think, technically usable, but not very good at all. It has a very high faith requirement for a subpar weapon compared to some of the best ones.
It is 22 faith, which is similar to this Health and Steeple. Health and Steeple requires 22 intelligence.
Yeah.
It's a much better, and Steeple is a much better option.
Yeah.
Blackblade can win you the game if it's the only thing available at the easy checks, but there's not much here to actually push it. Like if there was like 30 faith on the board, you could at least like work towards it and not be too concerned. Let's see the halberd check though.
It's purple. Loretta's Warsickle, poop stick. So
Yeah, that's
bad.
not great. I wonder why Stocko's not going. Like I think
Yeah, straight through.
Going around is worse than taking the spirit jump.
Yeah, if you're already that far, 100%.
In any case, you might be going for the painting as well, and then for the pots, which not a bad idea. But I think he needs to acknowledge that Helios is probably going for the paintings at this point.
Yeah. And not too far behind. He obviously did do that at Geel, but that's what, 40 seconds to a minute tops, right? Minute tops.
Yeah. Yeah, you lose a little bit on the path to Aguil Lake North, but that's it. 1 minute.
Yeah. And Helios is very fast. Like one thing that you can already see as a difference is Helios is very decisive, at least in the early game. And his running lines are very precise.
Yeah.
And you can save up, like, I remember I was speaking with Zeno, who's the best speedrunner I know personally, best 80% glitchless runner in the entire United Kingdom. He was telling me, like, he was watching me play and he was like, dude, run in straight lines. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, am I not going there? And you save so much time by just focusing on running in a straight line. As crazy as it sounds, you save a ton of time.
That is true. Now, Stocko is doing a heads-up play here. He is prioritizing paintings over pots. Also, I like getting that one first because he's gonna be... Oh, no. An antivirus.
All right, he's good.
Yeah, he's good now, but that's like a bit of like a unnerving time loss. In any case, he's prioritizing the correct thing because Aguil, like I said, indicates that pots was not a priority for Helios, so maybe he didn't even start with it. Obviously, it's a bit dangerous because if Helios goes for pots now, I mean, he doesn't know, but if Helios had the pots and went for it, he would get it. He's not though. He's going for paintings, and they're gonna be very even on it.
Helios has lost
even,
time
actually.
to these scarabs though. Helios picking up the Somber 1 and 2, but has particularly the Somber 1 scarab by this Artishack where Stocko is now. Helios really struggled with that guy. So that is quite a time loss, and Stocko's well ahead.
Square. Yeah. Another reason why I like the Liurnia painting going for it, for that grace, is to kill that knight later, and then you can get the 12 incants. Much easier. Like it's gonna be Corning always has 8. That knight drops a book that has 3, so you only need 1 additional. Obviously, the problem is the price. It takes almost 40k to buy all the incantations that way. But that's Renala, and Renala's on the board.
Graphic, thank you so much for the resub, man. I really, really appreciate it. I think Stocko hasn't grabbed paintings because I think he's mid-grounding, or grabbed crackpots, sorry, because he's going for paintings. And the other fact of it is Helios going a Geel, right, is a sign that he's maybe not prioritizing crackpots, or at least it's a sign it's not his highest priority. So he may or may not have started with it. It's impossible to know if you're Stocko, but paintings is always available to you no matter what your starting selection. Crackpots will be available to you later, but as a rush square, it's very difficult if you don't start with them.
Yeah, you usually need to do a combination of Stormveil and Saint's Bridge, or Red Wolf and Stormveil. And yeah, it's gonna be Stocko square here. The question now is, will he keep going for like Fort Ferroth and grab money and the Sword Seal? which I don't think is necessarily a mistake, but it could cost him time to go back and do the trolls, which I think should be the priority. But it may be the only option because he might not have enough money to upgrade uh, his character.
And there's the paintings marked for Stocko. Helios will see that.
Okay, he got the paintings. So my gut reaction here is Bach, I think.
Yeah, he's going round table. I think that's the correct call.
He said he's thinking Bach. He said his gut's saying Bach at this point. I think just looking for blocks. Which honestly, I think this works out for Stocko. Because Stocko still has Crackpots clean, Trolls clean. You know, honestly, if Stocko gets Trolls, there is that middle row is like not ideal to get a block on, right?
No. Especially if you do Trolls into top ski, that shows like a lot of priority on Renala.
Also, this is very good for Stocko. No good weapons at round table. Troll Knight Sword being the best one. Stocko in his smithing route with the Flamberge, right? Immediate buff in edge for Stocko.
Yeah, none of the free checks were good. So maybe now the weird checks will have to pan off.
Yeah.
That's a good reason though to go for Bach. You can go buy like Helios is gonna grab not only the gold pickle foul foot, but also check merchant that has 4 weapons. Maybe he gets something that Stocko will not probably think about getting.
Yeah. We'll see what this check is for Helios here. Rotten Staff.
Yeah, that's
like that's a very
already
good
a
weapon
much
as
better
well.
weapon than all the options here.
Yeah, Rotten Staff, a very solid Sombra weapon. It's a colossal weapon, colossal hammer. So it does massive poise damage, good base damage, of course, and you get that rot as an added bonus. Plus, it's really not that bad to wield.
It's not. The only problem is it's bad enough that it will give Stocko some time to maybe get another square that requires more preparation. Let's see if the X check, which he's looking to do now, wields something.
And it is Stormhawk Axe.
Stormhawk Axe is perfect in this situation because then when he needs Altus access, he could do it through Abductor very easily instead of going through the whole drop off getting Dectus or going through Makar.
Yeah. Even if he wants to use Flamberge long term, which honestly though, you don't need a crazy weapon on this board.
Probably not. Except maybe for guards and BBK down the line.
At least you do get the bonus lightning damage against guards. But this just makes the Academy play even more powerful for Stocko. Because Virgins becomes so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I would heavily consider him like doing troll bosses.
No.
Now like putting Stormhawk online as fast as possible and then doing trolls into the Red Wolf. Now Box Needle opens up row 1 very well for Helios though.
Nice.
Because it is a cave, he can do 2 others very quickly. He has the grace for buying the Incants later. And Falling Star Beast, both of them have access to. They've been to Celia.
Yeah,
So,
and there's Box Needle for
one is
Helios.
dangerous. Not getting the ping. Oh yeah, I got it.
We'll see Stocko's thoughts on the matter. Seems pretty chill about it, which I think is a fair response. Like he's not directly going to be able to contest you on any of the squares that you are going for at the current moment, because he will be a bit behind. That being said, Helios. It does seem like Helios's game plan here is just to kind of get blocks on the board.
Yeah.
And that Box Needle square being a corner square does give him 3 unique blocks. So now 5 of the 12 available bingos are blocked for Stocko.
Yeah. The thing that this gives him though, like, is information on two things. First, Helios indeed did not do pots, so his first bet was correct. Second, that's a very late block, compared to, like, well, doing a Gil into block, like, it wouldn't take that long. So maybe he will, like, he could realize that Helios has been to other places and did the checks.
Mhm.
So I think he might consider now going for academy faster than he would otherwise, because he knows he's not that far behind from getting the Stormhawk X that he just got, and from getting access to academy, because he probably been to Liurnia, if not try the paintings like he got. So he
I'm
needs to
cur-
consider that.
I'm curious because they're both very good squares, and we did talk about the map progression value with Academy, particularly for Stocko with that Stormhawk axe. But like, Troll Boss is still the center square on the board. That's going to build up threats for, if Helios were to get it, it'll build threats on the top left to bottom right diag in column 3, while for Stocko it would block those threats and build up row 3. Do you think Top's Key is the correct play here, or would you rather look for Trolls first?
I would do Trolls first, because Stocko right now has one line that would feed into Troll bosses, and if he gets stops, he would get two. But as of right now, he's more like he will lose more by losing Trolls than will Helios. Helios
Yeah.
already blocked Trolls twice. He needs the other two blocks to block that specific line. And because the row has BBK and DTS, which are very long squares on this board, uh, you're not that concerned with row 3. While Stocko, if he just gets throw bosses, he is in a very bad spot. Because column 3 is fast, will force him into doing pots earlier than he wants, and the diagonal is very, very bad for him because it forces into Gargs or maybe Onyx Lord. Onyx Lord would be a preferred play for Helios, so you need to go for either Memory of Grace or prepare Guards. So, like, the diagonal is very dangerous if Stocko doesn't get throw bosses. The funny thing is they are both going to Academy, and
Yeah.
I think Helios is probably thinking tops
Yeah.
immediately.
I think this is part of, I talked about it a bit yesterday, particularly last season, the playoffs, which obviously you were also a part of. We kind of saw like players were very adverse to snipes, right? Like very much so, like not going for going for typically the second best play on the board, like kind of expecting this little dance where it's like, okay, I marked the last square, you have priority on the next best play, so on the best play now, so I'm going to go for the second best play. We saw that little dance go back and forth all the time throughout the playoffs. And yeah, Stocko's, different evaluation is really going against what Helios is expecting. I think Helios is strongly expecting Trolls to be marked any second now. So if Stocko does go ahead and get Top's Key and then Trolls afterwards, I mean, that would be actually pretty devastating for Helios, because that would shut down a lot of different threats in terms of like both of his potential squares are have lines blocked by both Trolls and Tops. And additionally, it sets up Stocko on that diagonal, which actually is pretty scary. Both Scar Seals and Ancestor Spirit has Shifra synergy, and 2 Crucible Knights is pretty easy to pick up with Stormveil. We'll go full screen with Stocko here for Red Wolf. Stocko gets the stagger, and Helios is in the fight as well, so we'll go back to the dual screen here.
Stocko should get a bleed soon with some R1s.
Stocko takes a big hit there. And there's the bleed, and Stocko gets it down. We'll go full screen with Helios. Very nice fight for Stocko.
Stance damage on the hammers. Awesome.
Yeah, hammers are not the fastest weapons in the world, but they apply so much stance damage for how fast they are. And
blood
you
flame
can,
right now,
it makes
that's
fights
unfortunate.
really safe, I feel. Because you're getting consistent staggers, and does make up for a bit of the time loss because they do have lower base damage than some other weapon classes.
Nice.
Helios is
nicely
going
done.
straight for it. I held it there. I was a little interested to see if we would see a pivot from Helios, because I would expect trolls to be marked by now. Stocko marked paintings at 11:38. It's now we're at 22 minutes, so it's been 11 minutes since Stocko marked paintings. I would be expecting trolls by now, so I would have wondered if Helios would potentially pivot to go for trolls in mid ground, because you can lose one of these squares if you're Helios and you're fine. Losing both trolls and Topsky would be pretty devastating.
Yes. One thing that I didn't see is if he did the X check. If he did the X check,
He did
may
not.
be thinking. Okay, so he may be thinking that Stalker is still scrambling for a weapon, while he actually isn't.
Yep.
And this is a heavy snipe, but they will be somewhat tied for trolls.
Except Stocko now has a bunch of runes. I think he has runes. He's going to get Stormhawk online. I think he picked up that Somber 3, so he'll be able to even get it upgraded to +2, +3 here. It's going to be a tough race for Helios to win just due to weapon.
Well, and it is balls, right? It is the 5-time champion. And this is such a time loss on this board, right? Like like the only thing you can get is the staff, and I don't think he's going to go for it, unless he gets the mark immediately as he drops down.
Wow, okay.
He just pivots to Falling Star Beast.
I warped the wrong grace, didn't I?
That makes sense, I think.
But I
Counter
kinda have
threat.
to do this now, I think.
That's a very
Oh my god, and it's a race. They're both going for it.
Oh my god, what the hell?
All right. This is big. This is very big.
This might be. It's interesting because Stocko might be very annoyed about this knife, but he doesn't know that he got 2 in a row.
Helios does get the skip first try while Stocko's going around, so that's a huge difference in the fight. That being said, I know Stocko has the rock grease. I don't know if Helios does.
I don't think he grabbed it. And the blood flame will be useless against the rock dog.
I mean, I guess extra fire damage is nice, but yeah, no bleed. It's probably not even worth it to cast. Okay, he will go ahead and cast Blood Flame Blade. Stocko gets hit by the pest threads there.
Still not a bad idea to get this, even if you get sniped because you get a Somber 6 weapon. But obviously it's gonna force Stocko into an earlier block than he wanted.
Yeah, Helios is in the fight now. Gets the charge, but is able to stagger the beast out of it. Now this rock grease does a ton of damage. Now it would take a full 90 seconds, but so probably will not get the full effect. But if you do, that does 46% damage. So that is a huge buff. So even though Stocko's behind in this fight, the rock grease is going to make up a big chunk of that if he's able to get it off. We see an immediate difference though. Helios got the charge and he just greeted it and went for the stagger knowing his poise numbers. Stocko letting the beast charge, and that's going to cost him a fair chunk of time here.
Yeah, I don't think he would get a stagger even if he got a jump attack.
Stocko gets the stagger.
He got the rot.
He gets the rot.
But
Helios gets a stagger here, and he's
perfectly.
yeah. Helios's fight is perfect, and he's far ahead. Now, if there's a mistake from Helios and he gets out of the rhythm, Stocko can make this up, but he will need a mistake of some sort. Not necessarily a death, but just a mistake. Helios gets the stagger. Stocko gets hit. That's going to be a snipe for Helios.
I hope he keeps doing.
Yeah, he should finish this fight out.
Damn. For real?
Yeah, I think, a bit of it was overall Helios' execution there was just cleaner. He hit he went for the skip, hit it first try. Stocko didn't. Slightly better fight. Also, to be fair to Stocko, did have a bit better RNG.
Sick arena, bro.
That charge interruption was very huge.
Fucking guy.
All right, Stocko gets it down, so that will be able to get him a Somber 6, so still equity for Stocko. But unfortunate to not get the square, especially because I think that would have been a big... I mean, in Stocko's case, I'm sure he's disappointed about the snipe, obviously, but you can't... You marked the last square, right?
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't know right now, but he will be online way sooner than Helios. Helios probably still needs the physic or source you, and that takes time. If he goes for trolls, he will get it, and then he could go Ancestor early because Scar Seals is on that diagonal.
Looks like Helios is going for staves here.
I like that because it pushes a column 4, and he knows that he can do Renala, while Stocko might think that's my block when it actually isn't.
Yeah, Stocko could very well think he has a much bigger lead on Renala than he actually has due to the Topps key. Typically, Topps key would mark pretty significant prio on a square like Renala, but by virtue of Helios almost nearly completing the square.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing, though, and it's very hard to do that during a game. Sometimes I manage to do that and basically turns the game around in my favor. And when I fail to do that, I don't get it. And that is, okay, I almost got the Falling Star Beast, and that is like a square that is just like going there and fight, right?
Yeah.
What does that tell me? That tells me that Helios was there at the same time as I was. So, and even if you, oh my god,
Stocko,
heal for Christ's sake. In any case, that tells me that I have the option of not the option, sorry, but like Helios was there and so close that he must have ported the same time that I did.
Yeah.
So that means that was a pivot after I got top ski, and given the nature of Falling Star Beast being there, it could indicate not only the top ski as a snipe, but also the paintings.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to be able to make that call. It's difficult. It's not easy to do during the game, but it was so close that I think he could at least identify that Tops was a snipe.
Yeah, it's great. Especially for the bingo, for guys who play bingo or love the sport. I mean, Rambler, your analysis on like you have to deal with so much limited information, and what Rambler is saying in regards to like how a specific timing of a square being marked, can what everything that it tells you. Like, there's no one better at trying to paint the full story with such limited information than Rambler. It is, your analysis is incredible. Question from Anna: why is no one going for center square? I feel like this is just a big game of chicken in regards to the center square. Snipes can be super devastating. I think both players are trying to play around the snipe. Helios is generally more risk adverse, especially in playoffs, does not want to gamble. And a lot of times, like, racing for square snipes is gambling in a way. And
I
for
would add to
Stocko,
this-
like Stocko just got sniped, right? So he's probably like, I don't want to get sniped again on trolls. But here's Loretta.
I think the
What
motivation is different
is
actually.
that?
He just
Loretta
doesn't have
Onyx
a weapon
Lord?
yet. Yeah,
And
no, that's
also
a very
Lo-
good call.
And also Loretta Onyx Lord
Some
for
fucking
Stocko
once in a lifetime.
in that both in that column 5. There's the Onyx Lord boss in Liurnia right after. Yeah, we see Helios now setting up the strength here.
Yeah, that's a very good fight. Stormhawk +4. Doing very good work, although he's not in the water actually.
Gets Loretta down there.
Wait, you're cooking.
Share them with me.
Now, one thing that will come into play late, so Helios already grabbed the Somber 5. Stocko can get up to a +6 Stormhawk, but he will need to grab the Somber 5. The bigger thing, though, is particularly in the late game, Rotten Battlehammer is just generally a better weapon than Stormhawk Axe for late game.
Rotten Step is gonna be better already now.
Yeah.
And that's the main concern I have. Like Helios was like okay with like going for setup now, even maybe losing troll bosses because he wasn't in position to contend.
Mhm.
Oh, Stocko got the incant here. Okay,
Yeah.
that might be his block on the row instead of Ancestor Spirit.
Is Helios thinking BBK already? Or just going this way to set it up for the block? Because the column 5 is immediately a bit of a threat. Loretta feeds into Onyx Sword entirely.
I think he's going for BBK.
Oh my god. This is a crazy play by Helios. I mean, if he gets it, though, it's BBK into Memory of Grace with 50k, and you can still get a lot of runes for health. Plus this +6 Rotten Staff. Like, he has to hitless the fight, but my god, the damage is crazy. He got Rotten Staff from Beach Merchant while checking Box Needle.
Well, with that damage, even I would consider doing this.
Getting some frame drops. Ugh.
Oh,
And Helios goes down there. He did complain about frame drops right before he died, but I think that was as simple of an issue as you can normally squeeze in an R1. I haven't really done this fight a lot with the Colossal. Might not be able to squeeze that in.
I did this fight with Colossal Swords. Rotten Staff is a little bit more on the heavier side. Like, it takes a bit longer for you to... Oh my
Yeah.
god. Is Stocko going for it?
No way.
I think he is. There's no reason for him to grab the physic.
Okay, according to Strump, the Anvil Hammer Goat, you can do a crouch R1.
Yeah, which is faster than the normal R1. I think it's the same as the rolling R1, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
with how much damage I'm doing, I feel like this is worth. Alright. Okay, this is not.
Helios goes down again.
Let's go,
is-
Ronaldo.
And this is a race. This is a race.
Well,
This is an insane race.
Helios just said he's pivoting to Renala. We'll see if Stocko's serious about this. He's grabbing the Grace.
He is grabbing the
Ronaldo would be a
Grace.
better idea.
Now, the thing is...
Oh my god, Stocko just said maybe Renala will be a better idea.
What the hell? How are they thinking about this the same way? Like, trolls... Like, I really think... now, Stock was being responsible. Like, he should get trolls now. Like, Renala, nice. It's a block on a potential column 4 play, but trolls forces Helios into doing either
Stocko's going
Crucibles
Renala.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now, the one thing to be concerned about for Helios is you have to wait for Renala to summon 4 times, and that rot tick, you need to be very careful to manage that so you don't accidentally murder her too early.
Yeah, particularly because this is not like bleed or frost that like you You get one and then you back off. Rot keeps going, keeps adding. So, and it's a +6 weapon. It's not gonna be easy to. Oh,
Helios gets moongrummed, but gets out of it.
How did he escape?
I have no idea.
I really.
We'll
think
keep this on the dual
positional
screen
play-
here. Okay, Stocko does quit out to just avoid Moongrum.
Yeah, a death by Helios could.
I mean, a death,
make this not-
obviously. I don't know, really shit Renala RNG or accidentally murdering her.
No, one cycle. That's
No, yeah.
surprising.
Yeah, Stocko should get a 1 cycle with +6 Stormhawk, right?
I think it will be close.
Okay,
Well, he
Helios
needs
is into
to-
phase 2.
For Stocko, he should not do the Ash of War more than the first wind up. Like you get that extra damage and then you are one her to death. That's the best DPS.
Oh my god, Stocko greets for that charge R2, which is just enough to get the 1 cycle. Stocko's not going to be far behind here in phase 2. Helios needs to be very mindful of Rot. Helios gets the first summon out.
I think he's gonna keep it like that.
Yeah. I mean, Stocko's already ahead on damage, but damage doesn't really matter. Alright, it is 1-to-1 on summons.
Jesus.
It is not
This
4
is-
different summons. We change that to eliminate some of the RNG, but she still has to summon 4 times. So, I mean, this is a very heavily RNG dependent square.
2-1 now.
Two to two. Three to two. Why is Stocko hitting the dragon?
Maybe try to get him.
3 to
go
3.
away.
But she just summoned bulls. That's 4. Helios gets it down. Oh my god, this is brutal for Stocko.
He might still be able to steal Memory of Grace.
Fuck!
If
But
he
there's
doesn't
also
win.
remembrance.
man.
There's also remembrance on the board.
That's
I would
fucking outrageous.
sacrifice it.
Please die.
Stocko gets it down.
God. What?
Nah, but Helios is gonna go straight for it.
Yeah.
There's no other reason to get this grace.
Stocko, go trolls. Go trolls right now, Stocko. Stocko's going
Yeah.
crackpots.
No, I think he's going.
No, he's going
Incans.
incants. Okay. Stocko's going to kill this
That makes
knight.
sense.
This will give him 3 incants. Then keep in mind, he also did pick up the incant in Kaled and then 8 from Corrin, so that's 12.
And he kept the remembrance,
Yeah.
which might be huge.
Helios, I think, is just going to go finish up caves here. What
No,
a crazy...
yeah.
How did they both think BBK and then both think Renala?
You remember that, like, not to say that my analysis is always the correct one, but remember when, like, before the game started, I thought that troll bosses could be rushable as your first square?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's the information game on the other side.
Yeah.
He
I
just will
guess I
see
want to
12 incants.
prioritize Scarsiv
Maybe he
on
thinks that
Underground as well,
that
because that
was a
lets me
snipe
do
on Renala.
and check a second Remembrance. And if it's garbage, I just, like... You know.
And okay, so that's an interesting situation right now.
Yeah. What's so funny to me is they're the only reason they would be avoiding trolls at this point is to not get sniped, and they're both doing the same thing and sniping each other.
Yeah, but what I'm gonna say now, I think this is Stocko right now at his most dangerous, and I'm gonna explain why. Helios is gonna do Crucible Knights now, but what Stocko is doing actually is he's going for Remembrance. He's setting up column 5. Column 5 is faster than column 4 by a whole lot. Troll bosses is not that important anymore for Stocko. What is important is getting a threat. And he kept the Remembrance, and because he was sniped, he knows that Helios didn't, because he took a while to do the Memory of Grace. It took a little bit. Like, sometimes when I do Renala, I make sure that I have 10k, and then I do Memory of Grace right after her, so I keep the Remembrance, and I have 50k. It took time, so that means Helios didn't have anything on his pocket. He had to use the Remembrance, and he leveled. So Stocko can know that that Memory of Grace not only was Renala, but was Renala plus the Remembrance.
Yeah.
That means Remembrance is up for grabs right now, and will force Helios into BBK.
This is not worth
Which-
Wait, why is Helios' weapon unwieldable right now?
A lot of bad decisions.
Oh, he doesn't have the physic because he used it on Bofa
So
and the
many
physic
bad
ran out.
decisions.
I don't think he
Yeah,
realizes it.
Yeah, he should just.
He
die.
just realized it.
Cap-
Also, for anyone in
Right.
chat, I know Rambler is a brilliant bingo mind, but I know sometimes the things he says, you communicate it very well, but I know sometimes the things he says can be a bit high level. So if you're newer to bingo and you do have any questions, please do not be embarrassed to ask, and we're happy to explain it to you. Because Rambler is the most brilliant mind in all of bingo, but sometimes the things that he says, they're just high level, right? So if you don't understand, I'm more than happy to explain.
Another way of putting it is I might be thinking about things that not even the players are thinking right now.
Yes, that
Because
is very possible.
During the game, you don't, right? And I am not ashamed of saying that sometimes I thought too much, and I talked myself out of place because I was thinking too much. But that being said, what I'm gonna explain one thing here is that the way Stocko plays is when he's put in this situation, he will look for an exit, he will look for an edge, he will look for anything that he could make work. Now, right now, he's doing staves as a way of like getting a block on column 4. But if he does get the staves, he can do remembers faster. And he already prepped BBK in a way that Helios didn't. Helios had to spend his money, so he's gonna be in one-shot territory. If Stocko does remembrance and then goes for BBK, he'll have a lot of money from Godric to be able to level the vigor and be able to sustain one hit from that boss. So that column, like right now, doesn't look very dangerous, right? I mean, Onyx Lord is an indication from Loretta, but it could be fatal.
Stocko just went for tops, but he didn't. Tops moved because he completed his quest line. You can still get the staff, but it's outside of the schoolhouse classroom side of Grace.
Yeah, just need to port there. It's not a big deal.
And Helios is going trolls.
Finally. But like I said, right now, that square doesn't matter much for Stocko. Like, the only thing that it would block for Stocko would be the diagonal, and the diagonal is more aptly blocked by Onyx Lord. But he needs to make sure that he gets remembrance into BBK.
Good heads up by Stocko, knowing that little stuff like knowing the Tops quest line here, right? And knowing where Tops is going to be with the staff Except he did
Yeah.
port out of Renala early, so this is another weird bug of Academy. If you port out of the Renala fight before you get warped to her room, the next time you go inside Academy, you will get immediately wrong warped into Renala's room there.
Yeah. Oh, Nightman is missed as well. There's no sorcery only square, but that is a good one.
I think he's prepping Altas though.
Yeah,
I
the
think he's prepping
position,
Altas, and it's
like,
probably gonna
troll
burn
bosses
him.
will be a good mark for Helios, but
Well, he's
I
in
wonder
Altas
if
either
after
way,
that
though.
he is gonna think about what he's gonna do with column 5. Row 4, because it has guards in it and it would feed into his
Not a lot
diagonal,
more
is not
time.
his concern. I wonder if you challenge the priority that Stocko has on Onyx Lord. I wonder.
I
Because
don't think you
that would be.
can.
I don't think you should, but if he marks Remembrance, he
I just
must
think-
know that Stocko is gonna go for BBK right after, right?
I just think it's too risky. I think
It is,
you
but-
you might be better served going to Shifra if you're that concerned. And Stocko's actually going for BBK now, it looks like, after marking staves. We'll go Helios fighting his arch nemesis, the 5-time champ, Bulls, Carry, and Knight, but we'll keep it on the dual screen as we have Stocko going for BBK. Stocko is one shot. He should level Vig. He might be able to survive a shot if he were to level Vig. He has 23,000.
And if he's skipping because of the Remembrance weapon, he should check it beforehand and see if it's worth it.
Well, you'd get enough runes from BBK to wield a Remembrance weapon. At least you should.
Yeah.
All right, there's Bulls down. We'll go full screen with Stocko here. Helios is just going to go Rick to finish caves.
Oh my god.
Hate the terrain on this fight.
Oh, he missed. I think that would have staggered too. He missed again. Boys may have reset.
Bro. Up here, come on.
Oh, this is so... I mean, this guy's so glitchy. Stocko has to be hitless here.
Up here.
This is so difficult.
Come on.
He doesn't even know what he's doing. Pausing.
Yeah, and when the boss pauses like that, it's scarier, honestly, because you don't know what it can just whip out an attack, and you don't know.
Yo, what a fucking delayed
Oh
swipe.
my god.
Stocko was just a few frames too early there. It was such a clean fight.
He has
That's
a lot less
brutal.
damage than Helios had.
And Helios is going for Ancestor. No, he's not. Okay, he's going for Ductus.
At this point, it makes sense because he doesn't have a Remembrance. He could go for the squares that require Radon.
Alright, we'll go down here, fine.
Nice stagger.
Yeah, very nice stagger. Come on, Stocko. Come on, BBK. Just be a good boy for Stocko. Let him have a clean run. Don't do your glitchy stuff. All right. Oh. Oh, how did he not get hit?
Ooh.
You should be nearing a stagger.
Oh no.
Nice dodge.
The sword move set.
Poise is gonna reset. He was so close to a stagger too.
No! He did it again! Ah, piss all over me. Damn it.
Oh. Now he doesn't have the money. He lost that money as well.
His poise reset, like, so the poise timer, the poise timer was the problem, right? Poise resets if you don't hit a boss for a certain number of seconds. It depends on the boss and how much poise they have. Also, I completely destroyed my green screen in agony after I pulled my chair back. You know, screw the green screen, whatever.
You guys have no idea. Like I was like, I'm gonna say it right now. His fights were awesome. Like he was fighting incredibly well. But that's the nature of like a boss that like can one shot you. It's just like that, right? Like you cannot afford any little mistake. And in some cases, it's not even your fault because that boss is so like the terrain is so glitchy, right? I didn't want to say like he's doing great because we know that becomes a caster curse, right? And especially with that boss in that terrain. But I think he took the wrong, like he made the right decision. Now he's going to go for Onyx Lord. Yes, that will probably push Helios to do the block earlier than he wanted to do. But if I'm Stocko, I'm feeling okay about this because he still has the option of doing remembrance, and he could do because like he just doesn't have the luxury of Stormhawk X as an autos access, so he could still go for it and get to autos kind of fast. So it's not lost right now. It's not lost.
Yeah. And it's still, I mean, when Stocko gets this point gets a score on the board, it's a 1-score game, right?
Yeah, I would argue that like with bots and remembrance, it's
Now I
like
go for
he can
BBK.
still be ahead
Yeah.
if he just goes for it. It was 25k, Sean.
Yeah, also Helios
Oh.
hasn't marked anything for a bit, so it got to the point where Stocko kind of had to do Onyx Lord to block the diag.
Mm-hmm.
Good point, Core. Oh, that's
And
just
now
so...
all the bingos are blocked except for row 4 for Stocko and also column 5 for Helios.
Yeah.
And that's why I think like remembrance is gonna be a very good play here.
Yeah. And now Helios
Like
is going BBK.
To be honest, I think it's kind of okay at this point. Because, well, the play is kind of over on the column, right? Like,
Yeah.
because if you get BBK into Remembrance, then Ancestor Spirit and Scars is a good block. I think now Stocko should just like try to get that big.
Vike. I think he's just going
he's
Vike.
going Vike to push row 4 instead.
God, I just, you know, the agony of these fights, like these plays when these players make them, like it's so tense and
I gotta say, like compare the damage. Like Helios might be able to get this basically because now he can, take a hit, and his damage is much, much better.
That's annoying.
And he's able to get staggers so
Oh,
much
right.
more frequently. His poise damage is so much better.
Yeah, this weapon outclasses Stormhawk by a whole tier. Also, Snowy, go schedule your game.
That was greedy. Well, foot hit. Well, head on the foot. Oh, the bonk. Right.
Nice Vike skip here from Stocko. And another stagger. This weapon is great.
And there goes BBK. Poor Helios. Stocko's not going to be pleased about that.
No. No.
Yeah, not a
doesn't
real
know-
reaction, just a bit of a sigh.
The funny thing is, he doesn't know that actually he just tried like twice before him.
Yeah.
And fell because of the same reason. A one shot is a one shot.
I mean, the one thing I do think that is a positive for Stocko, no matter the outcome of this game, which he's still very much alive, he knows he can't beat him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Stocko's proven that he can beat him. I mean, he's been the
And I'm gonna
victim of some snipe. Like if one of those snipes goes the other way, if he doesn't make one of those mistakes on BBK, he wins this game. Like he would be in a dominant position right now. Like Stocko, it's disheartening but encouraging at the same time.
And I'm gonna say again, like he actually has true squares right now that are basically his if he goes for them when he wants. Spots and remembrance. Like it's basically tied at this point. He might not be able to
Nah, what
get
does that
both
mean?
of them, but by getting Vike,
Oh.
it's basically tied.
There we go.
Okay, so now all bingos are blocked except for row 4. So I expect Helios to go Magnus now.
Yep. The one big thing though is Helios has Altus access. Stocko does not. That honestly has been, if there's been a weakness I've seen in Stocko's game throughout the season, Stocko a lot of times plays too long in the early game and doesn't get Altus enough. But it looks like he's not going to make that same mistake today as he's going for Volcano Manor, and this can only be one play, Abductor Virgins.
And with a +6 Stormhawk, it's practically free. And I'm saying this without fear of a caster curse because I've seen like Stocko and also like Nartok recently. I saw him doing like with a +0. +0 obviously is worse, much worse, but it's still very doable. You only die if you're like base vigor. Like most attacks you can survive. So like just do the corridor attack, which is a signature for Stocko. Like he loves doing that play, and you get the first one dead very fast. But Helios will get first dibs on Magnus probably, and because he will be more advanced, he might get DTS as well.
Mm-hmm. Helios is, it looks like going immediate Radon.
That's funny. I guess he's thinking guards is as good as any a block.
Well, I think
that's
he's
the
also.
road push.
I think he's also considering the underground play, right? There's a lot underground. You have, especially after Radon, you have Crucible Knights underground. You could do those. You have Scar Seals. You have guards.
That's true.
You have Ancestor Spirit. And if you get a good remembrance from Radon, you could do remembrance on Ancestor Spirit. Actually, I'm gonna toot my own damn horn. I talked about this before the game. We could see a triple mark on remembrance, Regal Moose, and 3 remembrances. It's
You
very
did say
possible.
that. It's very possible from Helios.
Yeah.
I wonder if Stocko's gonna let him, because he still has the Remembrance and he still has Godric as an option. But yeah, it is possible. Actually, like, now thinking about this, Helios only needs 5 squares.
Yeah.
If he gets Remembrance, and on the way to guards, Crucible Knights, and Ancestor Spirit, and the Scarcius, that's enough.
That's 6. That's 6 squares. Because he get 3 remembrances as well.
That is true. Okay, so he doesn't even need to do a Remembrance weapon. Or Scarcius. Doesn't even need to go to Weeping.
Yeah, the remembrance depends a lot upon what the weapon is, obviously. But Helios, you can see he's saving money. He has 90k in his pocket. Probably, honestly, not going to spend it before Radahn. He's not one shot, doesn't need it. So after Radahn's dead, he'll have 160,000 runes. Also a Somber 5 pickup here, so he can get his remembrance weapon up to a Somber 5. But Stocko's fighting the Abductor Virgin, so we'll go with him. Remember, according to Rambler, it's impossible to die here.
I didn't say that. I said that a +6 makes this fight, a +6 Stormhawk X will make this fight free, and that's what we're seeing. Someone who knows how to do this fight like Stocko, it's just like, as you could see, they melted like butter.
Yep.
I wonder if he'll go for Magnus or if he'll go for Radahn like Helios did.
Looks like it's Magnus. I mean, this is a longer play from Helios, right? It's dependent upon the weapon. You got to kill Regal Moose, light the stuff. There may be enough time for Stocko to cover his bases here, but it'll be very tight.
Yeah. He could snipe every single one of those squares with the exception of guards.
We'll go full screen with Helios for Radahn.
That's the key thing to remember here. Do not pop Mr. Remembrance.
Or Stocko's way for Radahn.
I don't know if Radahn is like strong against strike or something, but this damage is kind of a little bit underwhelming. This is a +6, and this is like an S tier weapon.
That's a lot of damage.
Or, yeah. I would say it's an S tier weapon if you get it online. He is pretty weak to Rock, though, so. Alright.
Nice job by Helios there.
That's how you fight Radahn with a Colossal. Hitless fight. Obviously, Rotten Staff is probably the best Colossal to do that, specifically to Radahn, but expertly done.
Yeah, we'll see what the remembrance is here. You know, Stocko could do Remembrance on Radahn. Remembrance on Radahn.
I don't think he will. I think he is vying for the underground.
Also, just as an FYI for anyone in chat, the watch party has moved to the refs call for today. If you would like to join the watch party, the Discord watch party, please reach out to Harv, Beard in the Hair, and we'll make sure you get invited.
Okay, so Helios is doing he's not going through Mimic Cheer to get the underground play at least half of it.
He is.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He is?
Yeah, he just didn't grab the grace.
He didn't grab fourth height?
No,
Not even on the way out?
I don't think so. No, I mean he must
Jeez.
not have. Either that or he just made a mistake.
Jesus, he just needs some coaching. We put some sense into Shaka's head. I'm sure we can do better for Helios.
Hey, everyone needs a coach, right? It doesn't matter how good you are. You know, everyone has a coach. Everyone needs a coach.
I even need a coach to be coaching.
All right, here's Radon for Stocko. He is just doing this with Stormhawk.
Yeah, it will be much worse in terms of damage, but
Summoning is
still
better?
good enough
Fuck
that the damage is there. It's just that probably a much longer second phase though.
Got a +6. Broski.
Helios is continuing to make his way towards Mimic. Big stagger.
Amazing stagger, and this is a
One more
very
hit.
good place to get the riposte.
Yep. Very nicely done there by Stocko.
Yeah, amazing fight. Also hitless. Yeah, this needs to be the new square. Radon hitless.
I've joked about it. I mean, we've talked about changing it to Radon with NPCs so you can't combo it.
I don't know. I don't know if Shura is counting that specifically, but I'm pretty sure we had more Radons done hitless than we had deaths to Radon.
I believe that. I believe that 100%. Stocko's checking his remembrance.
He has 4 options. One must be good.
Great Sword of Damnation, Hand of Melania, Bastard. Great Sword of Damnation is your best bet. Or Pull Blade of the Bud.
Okay.
I would
On
say
him.
for his
Please don't
stats,
fringe
it's
there.
Great Sword of Damnation.
I think he didn't like his options though and might just be
No,
going
he didn't die
Magnus.
Fringe. I mean, I was gonna die Fringe.
Now the problem is, by investing too much on the synergy, he might lose. Like he could get the Remembrance Weapon to work on Godric and get 2 squares, but he's potentially now getting the triple mark that you mentioned
Yeah.
on him, and that triple mark will pretty much seize his chances because
Yeah. If Helios does get a triple mark here, which I think though the Radon Remembrance, I think it was the Radon Remembrance had really bad options. I
yeah, it
believe
was Hand of Millennia and Bastard
and-
Stars.
Yeah, which is crazy enough. Baby Rattle's your best bet because Hand of Melania is just not wieldable. It's not
It's
possible.
not wieldable. It's 48 dex.
Dex, yeah.
48. It does bleed, but 48. Oh, Stocko changed his mind. I think he's going with something.
Yeah, he's going with Pull Blade of the Bud.
That's not a bad option on Godric, but he will
And
need
he
to
can then
level a
eat the
little bit.
Radon Remembrance for an extra 40k.
Yeah. Yeah, if he goes fast enough about this, he does have Godric prepped. He just needs to level, get the weapon +4, maybe.
Yeah, and also he can buy. One thing we did add about the mod, one of the few like major gameplay changes we made outside of just like the randomizer, is we did add the Arcane Talisman to the Arcane Talisman from the DLC is now available for purchase from the Twin Maiden Husk. So Stocko making good use of that. We made that change because every other stat has a at least potentially viable tier and talisman. Arcane has nothing in the base game at least.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
thought
the best you can get for Arcane is America's Scarcium,
yeah.
and that's only 3. I guess you can also get the Albinoric Mask for
No, because
4
I
Arcane.
guess
It's
yeah.
in Volcano Manor.
Yeah.
And the other option is what Helios has access to is the Mimic Cheer Helmet. Gives you 8 Arcane, but it does decrease your
This is
attack.
going to be a race because I don't think Helios is. No, Helios
he's
is
not
prepping. Okay, he's prepping. He's grabbing Grace before Gargs.
But
This
that's
is
the best
weird.
Grace to get anyway. He's gonna
Yeah.
go for Scarcius maybe first.
And also Crucible Knights. Well, the big thing is whoever kills the next Remembrance boss gets 3 Remembrances, right? So Stocko could get a double mark here with Remembrance, and 3 Remembrances. Meanwhile, Helios could get a double mark with Ancestor Spirit and 3 Remembrances, or a triple if he goes for Remembrance Weapon as well. Is Helios okay? Helios is going for Crucible Knights. This is not a Gargs play. This is a Crucible Knights play. Which works out for Stocko because Stocko's going to pick 2 squares off of him with Remembrance, and 3 Remembrances.
But it is a shame on the sense that like if Helios were going for Scarcius first, it would have been much better because that's the one that Stocko cannot do. Crucible Knights is something that he can do through Stormveil.
Yeah. And Helios is having a lot of trouble with the Siluria. Oh god, one of the little guys is here. Helios is down to 3 flasks. Gets a big stagger though. Stocko did not upgrade Pull Blade of the Bud. I find that a bit surprising.
It's +0.
Helios did finish killing the Stormveil Crucible Knight, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure he did because he ported
Yeah, I think
back,
he
right?
did. Rough call, please confirm that.
Yeah. I
We'll
mean,
go
when
full
he
screen
went
with
for
Stocko.
it,
Okay, he did. Thank you.
yeah, when he went for it, Incantations was still on the board.
Yeah.
So that was part of his decision, probably.
And Helios is going to Roundtable for the first time now.
It's funny how far you can get into the game without doing that. Everything before Capital, pretty much. Like you can only like the only place you cannot access is Capital.
Yeah.
This is a pretty clean fight for the double mark here.
And Stocko will tie the game back up.
The problem is he has no info on the Crucible Knight being underground.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know how.
Nice job by Stocko. Very clean fight.
He doesn't know how Ancestor Spirit is prepped. He doesn't know how Guards is prepped for Helios. And those 2 squares are pretty much
I
his
think I can get
whenever
5
he
decks and 1
wants.
int off of my
at this
remaining
point.
ones. So. Holy fuck. But he didn't do Moose. Okay.
Yeah, so Helios pivots back. It looks like this is either Moose or Scar Seals. I mean, so Helios can't win this game just underground anymore.
He cannot. I mean,
No. I mean, this could come down to 4 Deathroot.
yeah. I think he needs one thing. But the problem is now, like, and I think he's going on Scarcius first. Like, he should not go Ancestor now. Because Ancestor, like, he's going Ancestor.
I feel like Helios should be playing above ground, like literally above ground. Like I don't think Scarseal, Gargs, or Ancestor, like that's your priority, right? The DTS and Magnus are 50-50 squares. You need one of those.
three different remembrances, but no ancestor mark indicates Radon, but not Moose, obviously.
Yeah, it can only be three things. It has to be Godric, Rinola, Radon, right? Because there's no reason to do
or
Rykard.
Rykard, but there's
well,
no
there's
reason.
no reason, yeah, on this board.
And I mean, him losing DTS is gonna be bad for him. It's gonna be bad. Like,
yeah, it's possible Helios did think Radon was Stocko's third remembrance, and Stocko's heading underground now.
Whatever.
Oh my god, but that kill was...
That damage was insane.
He got a headshot towards the end there that was just like a thing of beauty.
Helios might be going for crackpots? No. Scar Seals. He's going to Weeping. Yeah, Scar Seals.
In that case, he did the wrong thing. He should
Yeah.
have teleported back to where the moose is and drop down and get the first one. Now he'll have to like do the jump onto that part again.
Stocko does have prio on crackpots because he started with it, but Helios doesn't know that Stocko started with it. At this point, I'd be assuming that my opponent did not start with crackpots. We are an hour and 17 in and no one's marked it, right?
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, also that's the other thing too. Like as your map gets developed, you get a lot of other options for crackpots, so it starts to matter. Like the keepsake matters a lot less the later you get into the game.
The funny thing about this is that actually Stocko now has Hyper Prio, if that means anything, because he has Storm Veil as well. So he doesn't even need to go.
This is huge for Stocko though. Stocko sets up the Grace before DTS and is now going for Magnus. Looks like Helios is going for Magnus as well. If Stocko can win the Magnus race and then immediately get DTS, that puts him at 11. Helios is in a tough spot.
Yeah, I think this is tricky. Yes, like Stocko, like I said, like he can have 10 pots very fast.
Yeah.
Well, like at this point, this is just a square. We're playing for he's playing for 4 squares. He needs to get DTS. He probably needs to get Magnus, and he needs spots. He will not be getting Scar Seals. He will not be getting guards.
Well,
now
it looks
the
like
question-
Helios might now be going DTS, but this could be he might be doing the exact same thing Stocko's doing with the pivot.
Well, he likes to do that, right?
Yeah.
His weapon will be much better to do DTS though.
Yeah.
So if they are even on DTS, he has the upper hand.
Yeah, because DTS is more resistant to lightning damage as well.
As it should be. That's what makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But this is as close a game as
Yeah.
as Stocko could think about going into this, because like if he gets BBK, like for example,
if there's anything that we've learned about this game, it's that Stocko can beat him. Stocko can beat him.
yes, 100%.
Like it's like especially in the playoffs, right? Helios, like, you know, he's such a good player and he does command a lot of respect, which he's earned. But Stocko can beat him.
Yes. I mean, he has beaten him before in practice, but
Yeah.
this is the real moment, right?
All right,
Ending
here's
on-
Magnus for Stocko.
Scam alert. Do it.
Yeah, it's one thing to do it in practice. It's another thing to do it in the regular season. And it's a whole different ballgame doing it in the playoffs.
Oh.
Uh,
All right, Stocko gets Magnus down. Helios is going to see this mark and just continue straight on to DTS.
Very bad. So bad. Oh. It's one of the worst times. Okay,
Yeah,
no, for
and
nice.
I just don't see Helios dying at this vigor
Yeah, he's too
level
much
with
big.
this weapon.
If need be, I can beat him to Gargs, no matter the situation. If he goes Gargs first, I beat him to Scar Seals.
Stocko did not go
Almost
to that
positive.
grace immediately. He went for the other one, but I think that
He's
was
going for
just...
Death
So
Root, I
not going
think.
Magnus was the correct call.
Death Root is a square that people don't like to go for. It's 4. It's
Yeah.
so long. But here you get 1.
I feel like it's the most controversial of our very late squares because it's a very late collection
Bullshit.
square. Most of our super late squares are fights, right? Morgott, Sewer Moog, you know, Lord of Blood, etc.
The thing about this is that the square is that like we changed the tibia square, right?
Yeah.
3 tibia mariners to feed Death Root so it has options and not always the same 3 tibias. This one kind of forces you to kill all 3 tibias and extra.
Well, the main
So-
reason we changed it is because it was an oppressive synergy
Bullshit.
with 3 tibias and 3 Death Root on the same board. It was just too much, right?
Exactly. Stocko's his GS now. And that means Helios can win with just guards and scars. And he'll probably prioritize scars. And Stocko has no information on Altus, on Redundant at this point.
Because Ancestor Spirit could have been Little Moose.
Yeah, so he is expecting Scar Seals, but he's probably not necessarily expecting guards. I think at this point in the game you should, because it is Helios, right? Like, he will not
Yes.
leave Verdun alive for that long. But either way.
Stocko gets that down. Yeah, Helios
Either way-
is going straight for Scar Seals.
Either way, if he thinks with Helios's head right now, Scar Seals is the priority for Helios because it's the most snipeable. So he should go down and try to get guards. That's the only way he wins this game.
Yeah.
And a bit of luck as well.
Yeah, which looks like that's what he's doing, but like he may not have enough time. Because like Helios already has the grace before Gargs. He's gonna pick up the first Scar Seal now. It is a bit of a run to Weeping, and you have to kill that ancient hero of Zamor. But
It will be a very big run for Weeping.
Yeah.
Like it's enough for at least to Stocko make to the Mimic tier, I think.
yeah, for sure. Helios also does have the much better Gargs weapon. Like we saw the damage difference on BBK.
Yeah.
And Gargs
Yes.
is very much a DPS check fight. Like if you can annihilate the first one quickly, it's really not too bad.
Stocko is +6 as well for Crush.
Yeah.
But it's Stormhawk Axe. Like
Yeah,
it is
Stormhawk
good-
Axe doesn't scale as well at higher weapon levels.
It's good lightning damage on that water, but the base damage is not gonna be great. I mean, at least it's still standard damage. It's not the worst type of damage for guards that is like slash or pierce. I think Stocko is prepping instead of actually going down.
I'm not sure. He might be.
Yeah, that's pretty much game then.
I mean,
Like his only chance was
There-
like a late death for Helios on guards.
yeah,
that-
like that's the other, like to be fair, Stocko doesn't know that Helios has Rotten Staff, and it's a shitty situation. But in a way, your best bet might be to just gamble on a Gargs incident. Gargs aren't dead until they're dead. It's a hell of a fight. Definitely one of probably the most incidentable fight in Bingo. Just sometimes you just lose, and it's kind of the only fight like that. But
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, Ancestor Spirit indicates Scar Seals is lost.
yeah,
Either way. So he needs to progress guards. That's the because that's the one that Helios is more likely to do. Like
Mm.
Helios did not do pots all this way. He's not gonna go for that fruit. As far as he knows, maybe the Radon isn't dead, but let's be real.
Man,
Right?
imagine
Like,
how different this game would be if one of those snipes, Falling Star Beast, went the other way. Renala goes the other way. Stocko gets Blackblade Kindred, right? You know, we're
yes,
not. Yeah,
I think BBK was the biggest swing
yeah.
there of all. Falling Star Beast
It
would
doesn't.
be nice to get for Stocko, but like the BBK, if he gets it at that point, he gets Memory of Grace as well. He gets the
I
column
staggered him too
5
early.
fully
I phased
going
him
for him
too
because
early.
he had a remembrance, and now we know that Renala's remembrance had something, but Radan's didn't. And he could just push that column, like force Helios into like
Whoa,
staying
hold on.
outside of Altus for long
No!
enough that he would run away with it.
Oh, you're kidding me.
So that BBK, those two BBK deaths, oh my god, Helios
Shut up.
not respecting Zamor at all.
Takes it out. There's Scar Seals.
I'd rather go to it.
Yeah, this is really tough for Stocko, but
It is, but
if,
Helios, he's
yeah.
double prepping. He's going for Death Root now.
Well, if I
Or
can,
not.
I've known Stocko for a long time as of you, and there's a positive, but there's also something that's concerning from this game. Stocko can beat him. I really believe that Stocko can beat him. My concern is Stocko is very passionate, and he's not been in this spot before, right? And Stocko needs to view this match as proof that he can't do it and not view it as the one that got away.
I am optimistic about that.
Yeah.
I think this is the type of game that he can pinpoint to. I did a risky play and I couldn't do it because, well, BBK is hard. And also, like, I got sniped a couple times. When he learns, I think he will learn that he just had Rotten Staff from the beginning.
Mhm.
I think he'll think, oh my god, I did this with a much worse weapon, at least for the things that I was trying to do.
Yeah.
I think he will feel good about his chance.
Also, just to inform you guys, we do not do a post-match interview in between playoff games. Players are going to get about 15 minutes to, eat, use bathroom, drink, whatever they need to do to recuperate, and then we will be back for game number 2. Rimble and I will talk over a little bit about the game afterwards, and then we will be right back. But yeah, players need to stay focused and locked in. They don't need to be worried about post-match interview talking about the game. They'll come in. We'll bring them in after game 2, regardless of the result, whether it's 1-1 or 2-2 or 2-0. They'll be done playing for the day. So we'll bring them in after game 2. But between 1 and 2, we're not going to bring them in.
Stocko is literally at 9 pots. He literally has 9 pots.
There's not a pot underground, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, he's doing the 8 braziers play. He is holding on to it for as long as he thinks he can. He cannot hold it for too long though.
Yeah.
Helios is going for Helios is actually double prepping everything right now. He has the Grace before guards.
Well, this is what a Helios do. Well, I mean, to be fair though, Stocko's fighting double prep with double prep, right? Because the way that you lose to someone who double prep, like people who double prep need information, right? Like basically what you're doing is you're lying in wait like a trap and playing the information game.
No, the Stocko has 9. He
playing-
got 3 from Jarberg, 2 in Stormvale, started with 3, and bought the Saints Bridge one.
Yeah.
I'm telling Harv, just in case. He can buy one from Kale if he wants.
But anyways, what I was saying about it is like Stocko knows that Helios is double prepping. It's just what he does, right? And he knows that the second he feeds Helios any information, Helios is going to capitalize on it.
Yes. Got one in Academy. That's true. He did.
Is he at 10?
If he's at 10, this is game over.
He's about to buy a pot. We'll see. He's about to buy one from Kale. We'll see. If he's at 10, it's GG.
Yeah, this will be a late mark.
Yeah.
And he is about to get them anyway.
Yeah.
Oi.
Well, that changes my estimation. I think he's not gonna feel great about this specific mistake.
No, he was good. He was at 7.
He never started with 3.
Did he never start? I swear to God, he did. All right.
That's the only
Fair
explanation.
enough. Yeah.
Okay, so Hooser, I think you fucked up.
I fucked up.
And that was as heavy a snipe as Helios could have suffered. And now he's going for guards. Okay, so now it's a good opportunity for me to talk about the nature of double prepping. There's good double prepping and there's bad double prepping. Like, obviously, it's very contingent on the situation of the game. But, like, right now, for Helios, double prepping is not a good strategy. He should not be pursuing pots at this point in the game. He should be doing guards because he progressed as far as he can progress into guards as he could. And he has the weapon, and he has the levels, and he has everything that he needs to do the fight. It's not something that he needs to postpone in terms of preparation, and it is not something that he didn't spend time already doing. So when he hits 12, there is no reason for him to like start double prepping based on like the potential for getting a snipe. He actually increased the chances of getting sniped back to back to back by doing this.
That's good damage.
Now, if he dies a very lengthy fight here, he would be in trouble. But if he kept doing this with the safety of knowing that Stocko needs to get every other square, it would be a different situation. He would have like 2, 3, even 4 unopposed attempts before Stocko could reach him.
Nice.
There's the first guard down.
Right. Don't throw the solo guard now.
Yeah, that first guard was brilliant.
Yeah, this was outside of the poison bullshit was hitless, right?
Yeah.
This is so much easier when he's not doing tick damage to you with that attack. Okay, don't get that off. Oh, he did.
Oh, some poison bullshit there.
There we go. GG's.
And that'll do it. That is game 1-2 Helios.
Yes, that was a very good fight, and he gets Death's poker in the end. Yeah, that was a brilliant fight. All the more reason, like the fact that he can do this, all the more reason not to prolong this game more than he needs, right? Like he was in a he was put in a much worse spot by the double prepping this time.
So BRB.
Yeah, both the players are gonna. I just messaged both of them. They're both gonna be taking a break here. So that is game 1-2 Helios. So he'll now be playing for game 2. That'll be a win in the set. That'll be a set win, and he will advance to the semifinals. For Stocko here, I think very encouraging game 1. Right, he's proven that he can play with him. He can beat him, but in this next one, Can's not going to be good enough. He has to do it. Right.
He has to do it, but he has all the tools to do it.
Yeah, and we'll see.
I think he will actually. I think I'm gonna put some porn on Stocko.
I really think he can do it. I mean, overall, like especially if you look at the snipes and things, right? Like Stocko's pace was really good. Also considering the amount of time that he lost in the BBK, like it's kind of an unfortunate thing when your fights are really clean and you have long fights and then you die. It hurts a lot more than just being like, oh nope, I'm not good at this and dying immediately. It's kind of it's a cruel game, bingo. Because the time loss is like Stocko probably lost more time on one attempt than Helios, or as much time as one attempt as Helios did on both of his earlier, right? Because of how much longer his fights were.
Yes. Yeah, that was that. Both deaths were brutal, and they would like one. Not even the first try. A second try would have swung the match in his favor by a lot. And well, but he also demonstrated that he knows how he is thinking about this game. Like they made similar calls during the game, and he was able to get the upper hand on a couple of them, especially in the beginning. So I think he is in a very good spot to get this win.
Well, we will see if he can do it in just a minute. Game number 2 between Helios and Stocko. With a win, Helios will advance to the semifinals. And if Stocko wins, we will have a game 3 tomorrow. Here we go. Rambler, center square.
Okay, this time I'm gonna go with ritual bots.
I will go with Magnus. Omen Killer is the center square. That's interesting because it's a square that can be done early, but it is definitely difficult. Gamba is up, by the way, chat. Please make sure Gamba's up. It can be done early, but it is difficult. We will go ahead and look at the board though. So nothing super fast in the top row. Second row, we do have 2 misbegotten bosses, which can be either strong or weak depending on the synergy. It doesn't look like there's a ton of synergy on this board. Staves is a square you can get along, a good collection square. Boss on Torrent is a nice early one, as well as Feed 2, Death Root 2, Garong. 3 fairly early squares in that middle row with Boss on Torrent, Omen Killer, and 2 Death Root 2, Garong. Row 4, more Altus, just kind of Altus progression squares. That whole line is Altus really, except for horse bosses. And then row 5, Millicent's Needle, and 2 Remembrance squares. I think this is a very different board, very Altus heavy, but also not a lot of crazy end game. We have Goldfree on here, and is there anything else in Capital or that late?
There's nothing in Capital, and you know what?
Goldfree.
With the exception of Goldfree, okay. And I'm gonna say this is very much alike the boards we had in season 1. Like where the meta is rushing Altus as fast as possible to get some of the easy squares that you can get there. Sacred Flash Charges, Lightning Ram, Eleonora, Icons is also like, well, it's not that rushable in terms of like going to Altus and getting. You still need to do Academy. But that being said, I think this really makes it very prioritizable, the Torrent only rush square.
Yeah.
Because it is the only square that you can get on this board that really promotes getting Dectus medallion. And also it's on the same column as Ruins bosses, and the Pumpkinhead is a Ruin boss. So I think that's a rush for both players.
Yeah, there's so many squares on this board that are either need Altus or made much easier by Altus via Altus. Going through them, Ruins bosses, God bosses, Ash of War, Lightning Ram, Wormface, nothing really else. Potentially Spirit Ash Summon +4 in row 2, but Icons, Rune level 55, you're realistically getting to Altus before you get that. Exaltation Talisman, Eleonora, Goldfree, Flash Charges, Horse bosses honestly as well. And then Fire Prelate in Fort Light. Additionally to Remembrance squares, you might need Radon for something. Yeah, very Altus heavy board. About half the squares are easier with Altus, or just straight up Altus squares.
Yeah, and they selected different classes again.
Yeah.
Stocko selected the Morning Star, which is wieldable. He selected a class that has Square Off and the Divine Beast Helm. That gives you more stats, but decreases the
Mhm.
quality of your heals. Uh, if I were to bet, if they both rush Torrent only, Stocko should have it because
Yeah.
Morningstar bleeds and gets a stagger faster.
And the hammer move set on Torrent's really good. You kind of just like whack like this over and over again. It's very
Hmm.
fast. The straight sword move set is a little more swingy and just a little slower. I honestly think Morningstar might be the single best weapon for boss on Torrent. Honestly,
And now looking at this, like Garen Torrent only is very good because what you could do is like your opponent might be concerned and go for Death Root. It might give you enough time to get autos while getting Omen Killer as well. And then you would be in a prime position on the board in terms of location. Everjails would also synergize with Godfrey's icon. You could have easy cash inflection that takes you to Dectus through Millicent's Needle. So that column one is also something to be respected.
yeah. There's a lot of interesting ideas on this. This board is just very interesting. I do think it's a situation where there is so much Altus that you really want to get Altus early and be prepared for any threat that your opponent builds, as well as having the ability to build said threat yourself.
Mhm.
It just seems crucial to me.
Yes.
Looking at, I think Misbegotten Bosses is gonna hang, as in it's gonna be left longer. The
Oh, for
Misbegotten
sure.
Bosses is one of those squares where like there are times where it seems like it's a crazy synergy. Like if you have like you could have like Weeping Bosses and Leonine, and it's like high value early.
Hmm.
Or you could have a situation like this where there's really nothing in Weeping. You don't have any Crucible Knight Misbegotten Warrior duo or anything to support the idea of Misbegotten, and that square will just sit. I think this board is one of those circumstances because there's really not a lot of reason to go to Weeping here. You could go there for an Avatar Misbegotten Bosses. There's a Scar Seal there. Honestly, though, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
With Exultation and Spirit Ash +4 on the same column, that could also be an autos play. The Spirit Ash +4, because you could get the Catacomb instead of like going through Cemetery Shade and or Black Knife, because then you could get Spirit Ash +4 through the other tree Watchdog. The problem is that that would be too slow compared to getting, say, Death Root to Gurunk. You could get the Black Knife Catacombs as a way of getting that. The problem is you need to deal with the Cemetery Shade to get the Death Root that way.
And
And
Stocko is going
Helios
for.
opted out of Torrent only.
Yeah, Stocko's going for it. Also, just want to mention it because it's interesting. Gamba here, Helios was the betting favorite money wise. 261K on Helios, 111K on Stocko. However, we have 20 people betting on Stocko and only 4 betting on Helios. So
I think that was heavy
the
snowy
public
corn.
needs Stocko to win. The house, aka Snowy, needs Helios to win.
Yeah.
Oh.
Snowy definitely did not bet the value there.
Oh no, Stocko falls off his horse. He has to quit out. So if you fall off the horse, you have to reset the fight. Thank God he's not contested. It won't matter. It's not the end of the world, but that is an early game time loss.
It is. And I don't think it will be slow enough that Helios will think that that was not just like a slow torrent only.
What the fuck is this
No
guy's
prep
fucking
before.
Bro. Oh my god. I guess he's not going for it. Surprise.
Okay, gets it.
Okay, no turn boss marked. He could be doing the same thing as me, or he could be going for the
Or
double
wire to
square.
mark.
Oh no, he marked it. It was just pretty late. That's actually very good. That's actually very good for me.
Yeah, so Helios recognizes that it's a late mark, just thinks it's good for him. Oh my god, and Stocko didn't even grab first step.
That square was so pivotal for him that he decided not to grab first step.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like I don't think it's ever important not to get first step, except if you're incredibly confident that you can do Tree Sentinel plus
Yeah.
0 first try. That's the only circumstance that you don't grab for either first step or
Yeah.
Church of Elden.
Stocko's obviously he's happy to get the square on the board, but he's going to be a bit disgruntled by that mistake. One thing is like Stocko's the one under pressure here, right? Helios can lose, and he's so confident too. He's going to back himself in a game 3. Also, oh my god, Death's Poker,
And that was on the Liurnia Merchant.
and I think that was
Which is-
Banished Knights +8 as well from the Liurnia Merchant.
The Merchant cannot have +8.
Okay, so those are just standard Banished Knights.
Yeah, without spinning strikes.
Yeah, so
So
Death's Poker
basically,
though, that's a
oops,
great
sorry.
weapon.
Yeah. And I think this is very, very, very bad for Stocko at this point. Because I think he is going straight to Omen Killer. And if
Yeah.
he gets Omen Killer, it will decrease significantly the chances that Stocko makes that check specifically. So if the rest of the checks is not good, he might get weapon diff even
Well-
harder than he was in the first game.
Well, we'll see. I mean, also Omen Killer is very incidentable, right?
It is.
There are certain strats that you can do to get around it. There's a crouch strat. There you can kill the dogs. You can use a kukri. There are ways to level the fight out, but it can be very difficult. Even though Omen Killer not the hardest boss moveset wise, but you have no health and he does hit quite hard. Additionally, you have those 2 dogs, which if they aggro at this point with this amount of health, GG, right? And you have a Albinoric mage in the back, so if you don't kill him and you go too far up the hill, the mage can shoot you, which won't do a lot of damage, but it can stun you, and then you get roll call.
Yeah.
So it's a very tricky fight, even though Omen Killer himself is not the hardest boss. Everything about it makes it tricky.
Yeah, he just sacrificed a better weapon start for square off. And so I would assume that he has like the Omen Killer kind of like set on how to do it with square off. It should be like you get a stagger out of 2 square offs, so it's not gonna be that hard to get a stagger on the Omen Killer. It's the prep of the terrain that is the hard part about this fight. And Stocko is going for a little
Neil.
baboosh for Millicent's Needle.
This
I
is
don't hate
Dragon
this.
Halberd or Banished Knights +8. That'd be very big for Stocko.
I think it needs to be Dragon Halberd. Bench Halberd +8 won't cut for the Altus heavy board. I think you need Dragon Halberd or Golden Halberd here.
Okay, nothing more to see here.
We'll go full screen with Helios here for this fight. That was great RNG.
This just
Yeah,
feels
no
more
square
comfy,
off,
honestly.
actually.
I don't know if the square off will work the same way.
Yeah, he just said, I don't know if square off will work. What is this? He clearly knows some sort of AI manipulation because he's timing, he's not spamming it. That was
Yeah, that was
insane.
expertly done.
Yeah, like I'm not sure, I've never seen that before, but clearly what he did was he timed out his tap R2s in just a way so that he was stun locked. Apparently it's Nexus tech. Of course it is. Also, Alabaster Lord Sword in the Greatsword check.
Okay, so Stocko's not gonna be screwed by weapon diff, at least not hard enough. As long as he does the Greatsword check. Which I've seen a lot of players skip for some ungodly reason.
And family heads there as the foil check, so it is a int weapon heavy board.
That is
That's a scam.
interesting.
Watch Stocko get Dragon Halberd. I feel like this when it rains, it pours. I feel like that Stocko's gonna get Dragon Halberd here.
Yeah. Imagine if he gets Lucerne. Now, this creates an opportunity for Helios that I don't think he was anticipating.
Better.
Could go for Death Roots into
Give me
Flails.
something good.
I mean,
I think he
Family
might
Head's
go
not
for it.
It's not the
He got
best,
Loretta's.
but
It was Loretta's War Sickle.
yeah. Like going Death Roots into Flails, like because he needs to level the int for the family heads. But that's not a bad compromise to make when you have Poker or Alabaster as your weapon. So you could basically pressure the diagonal and the column at the same time and just go to Altus and do either, right? So this Omen Killer kill already getting a lot of things going for Helios, and Stocko is gonna be only in block mode. Like Medicine Needle blocks the diagonal, but not the diagonal that might be the most dangerous.
Really quickly, we have a bunch of people in chat, some of which may be new to Bingo, so just to give a quick rundown of what's going on and why this is so important. So this is Elden Ring Bingo. Players compete on a randomly generated board of 25 objectives. The first player to finish 5 objectives in a bingo line, or a majority, 13 of the 25 squares, wins the game. This is played in real time, and players cannot see each other's screens. They can only see when a square is marked. This particular match is so important because we have had a long 8-week regular season, and we are now in the playoffs of the Golden Order. This is some of the best bingo players in the world. Helios won game 1, and if he wins, he will advance to the semifinals. Stocko is playing to force a game 3 tomorrow. Yeah, it does look like Helios is just going for the death route here.
Surprising that he doesn't go for
too late, I
Sacred
guess.
Blade, but because you still need to go for Third Church to give the Death Root. You could get Sacred Blade on the way.
Yes, perfect.
I guess Alabaster is so.
Yeah, I mean, Alabaster's pretty busted, right? There you go. So there's the first death route for Helios.
Now, interestingly enough, Stocko did not go immediately to Millicent. He's setting up map first.
Yeah. Going into Swamp of Aeonia here.
He's going for the staff, I think.
She's just getting... Oh, no, I think he has to rest out of grace so he can warp. I think he was still trapped from the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad idea to check round table, I guess. But I'm finding it interesting that Helios is not pushing the death route. Why did he kill the TBF first? Just for the money?
Yeah, he may have needed one of runes to get upgraded a bit. Because it looks like he's going to EG now. Where is he going, actually? Stocko's doing a roundtable check. I'm very intrigued by Helios at the current moment.
Is he going to atone?
Divine Beast Helm roundtable, but nothing else. Stocko,
That's
please
what
do great sword
Helios-
check.
That's what Helios started with.
Yeah. There is a Scarab here? What does this Scarab drop? A Somber 2.
It's a Somber 2.
Okay. So actually, I think he has enough money to get up to a...
Oh,
is
he
7K
wants...
and, yeah, enough for a plus 3?
Yes.
All right, there's
I mean-
Return Millicent's Needle for Stocko.
I mean, it should be.
Yeah. All right, Stocko's going to a Gillick North. He should check the Greatsword and get Alabaster Lord Sword online right now. Or at least
I
get
think
the
it
weapon.
is. I think it is even if you don't have one Snowy, because it's 6k. Like it's 2k to buy the one, it's 4k to buy the three. So he has 7. He should be able to upgrade to plus 3.
Yeah.
Maybe even plus 4 if he has the 4.
Looks like Stocko might be pushing Deathroot now.
Yeah, he's gonna miss it. But at least if he does the Black Knife first, it should be an option for a weapon
Yeah.
in the Katana check. I think the only thing that would be like better would be Dragon Scale Blade, but because like
Dragon
I
Hunters. Dragon Hunters.
Yeah, but that doesn't really add much to what you would have.
Yeah.
I think you
I mean,
need
to be
something
he
that
also hasn't checked Greatsword yet, so he doesn't even have Alabaster.
yeah. Now Dragon Scale, I think it's better than Dragon Hunter in this situation because he could potentially forego Dectus in favor of Abductor and push column 1 more efficiently. But that's only one weapon. I think you're still better off for the whole game with Alabaster
Yeah.
because it's so easy to put online. And he already did like half the work for Dectus on either direction. He got Millicent and he got the Torrent only, so
It's Rakshasas.
yeah, Rakshasas is a favorite of mine, but not for this board. Like you need
Yeah.
to have your weapon online sooner than that.
Could he make it work? I mean,
I
with the
don't think
Divine
so.
Beast head, how much dex does that give?
Is it my impression or he just Memory of Grace 10,000k?
No, he leveled first. He leveled at the Grace before he walked in.
I saw him entering the catacomb with 10, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
So he
no.
has 18 with the head. I mean, that's still 9 off of Rakshasas. Source
Yeah, it's
Seal.
Source Seal gives you 5.
Yeah.
It could make it work, but it would be unadvisable considering, not even considering what we know already, but what he doesn't know. Like he doesn't know Halberd, he doesn't know Great Sword, and he couldn't know Deathspoker. At this point, Deathspoker is only for Helios. Like there's no reason to go Lyrian Merchant at this point,
And I can do
except to buy
Virgins
the
with
staff.
DP, so
Maybe
it's
he
really
can
good.
find it at buying the staff.
Helios is thinking Virgins. Deathpoker's very good against Virgins. I think he's planning on using Alabaster for most of the game and then Deathpoker on Abductor Virgins.
Actually, even Alabaster is good if you can have it fully wieldable.
Yeah. Yeah, Stocko's gonna lose this race. Unless Helios
Yes.
shockingly decides to pivot for some reason.
Now the question is, will he still go for the physic and then maybe do Rakshasa for that reason? Like I get the physic, then I can get Dex. He's checking the merchant first though.
Yeah.
It's a good call, but nothing there except a couple shields.
Yeah, I mean Helios is very well set up for like an actual like int build because he can literally switch between DP and Alabaster, and then also he has family heads for Remembrance Boss Whip Flails only.
Yeah. The only problem with the play that I mentioned that like he could do flails on Godric to pressure both immediately is that outside of that there wouldn't be much to do in Stormveil again.
Yeah. This is heads up by Stocko here using a poison grease on this tibia to make the fight a little bit faster, but it's not gonna matter.
It will not. And he won't be able to even finish the fight for the money.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he might be able to. They are weak to strike, so the Morningstar does very good damage, actually.
But Tibia will go up in the air at least once That's his nature.
All right, there's the feed.
Jeez, that almost killed me. Oh, wow.
All right, Stocko just saw it. He's a bit delayed. So he does finish a fight.
He gets a little bit more money, not much.
Yeah, not much, but I mean, if
I
he
think
does
both of-
go Rakshasas, every rune is going to count because that's expensive to get
Mhm.
online, and he's at a deficit.
Yeah, both of them misplayed this a little bit. I think you go for third church first, get the physics, especially because neither of them could know if the other was. I mean, Helios could know, but not at the point when he
Yeah,
decided. So, especially for Stocko, he didn't have a wieldable weapon. He could have grabbed Sacred Blade
Helios is
first.
also getting Rakshasas. He's getting Dex tier.
Well, it is a weapon that I really favor, but I would not play it on this board.
Yeah,
With Alabaster available, I want to be able to do every boss now instead of later. And but I guess if you grab the physic and you already have a grace here, I think for Helios it's surprisingly more okay.
yeah.
That being said, I think he's getting the dexter not for Rakshasa. I think he's getting it for
Ogre,
Deathstalker. Yeah, maybe he has
maybe.
very low dex on his character, and that expedites the process of having it online. In that case,
Yeah,
I like it.
because I know he is thinking virgins for Altus.
Yeah, and like for Stocko, it's not a possibility anymore. Like he invested too much into going Protectus at this
Yeah.
point. So he needs to level into the weapon. I think he cannot go for the dex tier if he wants to be in position to do the squares as fast as possible.
Well, he will get Sword Seal at the very least.
Yeah, nothing there. There was Stitcher and Monk's Flame Mace, also known as the Jiggy Mace.
Because you do a little jig when you do the charge chart too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We saw Helios suffering with it against Ginger, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. It's a weapon that came from like that animation comes from the Dark Souls 1 Channeler Trident
Yeah.
animation. Uh and that weapon is so funny, and it is one of my most hated weapons, not because of anything about it, but the drop rate is abysmal, and you need to get that weapon to get all achievements in Dark Souls. So yeah, I had to
Okay.
kill
All
those
right.
channelers so many times.
Calm down, old man Rambler. Calm down, buddy. Yeah, Avatars
a good
is.
play.
I think. Yeah, it's strong here. It
And,
also. 'Cause
and it justifies getting the dex tier, like you're close, so might as well, right?
yeah. It really sets up that diag, top left to bottom right. Stocko might kill Stocko might kill Margit here.
Just for the that would be
Yeah.
faster than leveling.
Because he has the Dex Talisman from Millicent, and then you could get Scar Seal, so between those two it's plus 10 Dex. That being said, you need 2 Talisman pouches.
It's not the worst idea for him to get flails at this point, I guess. Like
Although
if
I
you're
don't know
killing
about
Margit for that, might as well go and
I don't think that
get
was too bad.
flails done as
I think
fast
that
as
was worth.
possible. Obviously, roll 5 is difficult to push because a tone is very snipeable. Colossal armaments, you would have to do that on Renala or Radon. But I mean, pushing Helios into going Colossal sooner, not a bad idea.
Not at all.
Now he has +4 Dex Poker and +3 Alabaster. I guess next on the list is have a +5 Rakshasa, and then and then after Leonine Misbegotten drops Godslayer Greatsword, he
Yeah.
+6 is it.
Helios is assembling the Infinity Gauntlet of armor or of weapons here.
Yeah, he's doing a weapon relay
Yeah.
during a bingo match.
So Stocko here will get. I mean, he's going to be done with. He's going to have Dactus online and Source Seal. So actually, Stocko should win the Altus race, which we talked about early game being huge. That being said, the weapon he is not set up for.
Not yet, but like this money, like doesn't even need to kill Margit. This money might be enough with Source Seal.
Well, he did level beforehand, but he had that 10k going into the Black Knife, and he didn't know what his weapon was, so he kind of just put a couple points into health, a couple points into strength, and a couple points into dex, just because he didn't know what he was going to get. Right. So
now, I wonder if he'll check Greatsword now.
he might. I mean, he's been doing other checks. I think he's going to. Nope, runs right by it. Also, Helios here doing a play that he did in a previous game. He's going to go for the Avatar here in the kind of the out of the way one in Liurnia up north. The reason why is because it drops the magic tier, which is just a straight up massive damage buff to your Death Poker.
And he's also in prime position to get Spirit Ash +4 after that. Doesn't need to go for the death route, like I said, like because Cemetery Shade, like you don't need to. You just need to go inside the catacomb and grab 2, 3, and 4 there, and any other catacomb will grant you the Grave Glove worth 1.
Question from Fun to Watch. Just curious, can there be level 55 and 60? No. So like one of the things we've added this season, if you watched last season, you would know that like a lot of the boards ended up being fairly similar. This board, they are a lot more varied. One of the reasons for that is that we've added variable squares. So to put it simply, the way it works is if the rune level square is going to be on the board, it can either be 55 or 60, and the randomizer will basically flip a coin to decide which one it can be. And as a result, it adds just a lot more variance to the boards, and players need to be able to adapt to very different styles of play, in part to the variable squares. There's a lot of nitty-gritty science that goes into the square set to make it the way it is. But yeah, that is part of it. Stocko here going for Margit still. I mean, also it's money to get upgraded.
You got the levels out of the Dex Tier and the Source Seal and the Lion Head, or rather Divine Beast Helm. Maybe he's putting himself in position to do Colossal or Flails. Flails is more pressing for him because it's blocks. Colossal is more opportunity for him because it's threats. Helios is already taking care of one of the threats with avatars. He's gonna do the third one. Well, he actually just prepped the second, right? He didn't kill it.
No, I don't believe he did.
So
all right, so Stocko gets Margit down. That's money as well as a talisman pouch for him.
So that means he is also thinking Dactus. Like
he might be. Yeah, I mean he's
way.
Yeah, he said virgins earlier, but now he may have changed his mind.
That turns this game into a very interesting situation. Because Stocko, despite going Dactus and despite having having to set up his weapon more than Helios had to do both, he might be first to Altus still.
100%.
Anyway, we're going to see this Putrid Avatar now. This is basically a one-shot territory here. This guy deals a lot of damage. You can still survive though the rot if you step on it for a little bit. Very good stagger there. Ooh, that was close. That is too close for comfort. But Helios manages to get away. Now just a few hits.
Nice kill.
And that's his ooh,
Second avatar. Yep,
avatar.
very nice kill for Helios there.
And this is a lot of money early game. He'll be able to just like run away now, like in terms of
Yeah.
like he cannot be killed anymore. He has Death's Poker +4 and he'll have a lot of vigor because he doesn't need anything else. There's no stat dumps except rune level 55, which is not a stat dump, it's an investment.
Yeah.
And like nothing else demands money, like at least not big money. So
Also,
you'll
very
be in a
cool
very
tech
good
from
spot.
Stocko. Stocko started with a crossbow and is using it to pop balloons in Liurnia.
Yeah, that's something that Helios was doing for the for a bounty that him and Jay and others are interested in. Kill all bell bearing hunters. I am gonna route this after my match yesterday. Maybe yesterday, I mean tomorrow. I'm gonna route that as well. Very promising, and you can shoot the balloons with the if you start with bow class.
Yeah. Does that include Elemer?
Yes, it's all 5, and you need to do weapon relay. You cannot use the
Okay.
same weapon to kill either of the bellbearing hunters. You need to do 5 different weapons.
Yeah, so Helios will be going for his third Erdtree avatar right now, and again, he's going to get a big buff, damage buff with this magic tier. The Death's Poker is so good because of the Ash, which does pure magic damage as well as frost, but the actual damage is magic. And so you basically are just getting like a, what is it, like a 20% buff. It's pretty
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, and like the Ash of War is full magic damage, and even on very resistant bosses, it deals a lot of damage. Imagine with a buff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, that is 3 avatars down for Helios.
Yeah, and that's very good routing by him as well. Like because he finishes the avatar and immediately drops down here to go and grab the glowworts for Spirit Ash +4, which will put like a lot of pressure on the roll too. And I
Yeah.
don't know, like Stocko has like a plan for it, except maybe Wormface
Yeah.
might be his first square out of Altus.
Well, he has Rakshasas online now.
Online and +4.
Yep. So he's ready to go. Man, I do think though, if he being the first into Altus here is just so huge, and Helios is a bit behind on Altus, right? Like Wormface, Flash Charges, Eleonora, Exaltation Talisman, like these are quick, easy Altus squares, and Stocko can rack
Yes.
up more than a few of them right away.
Yeah, I think if Stocko goes for Wormface into Sacred Flask charges, it's the most important for him because the diagonal is starting to feel
Yeah.
a bit bad. Although it does have Everjails, which in this board is gonna be a slog. I think in like Helios is fine with that as long as he's 2 squares ahead. Like
Yeah.
So that's the cushion he gives himself, so he can do a little bit of a later Altus play. And keep in mind, like Helios is like a great execution player, a lot of skills, but he seldom puts himself in a position that he can fail.
Hmm.
Like this square, for example, right now, it's pretty safe. Like like I don't know even where he's killing the Black Knife actually,
I don't know
but
why he's going to Black Knight. I honestly might just think it's.
oh, I think I know why. It's because of something that I did in a different match. I talked to him and he said, "Yeah, that's a good idea." And
I think that was worth it.
get the Cerulean Dagger Talisman. Because
I
then
think that was worth it.
every
I think that was
riposte
faster
gives
than
you
running
more
out.
blue to spam with the Death Spoker.
Well, what he said was, I think that was faster than running out.
Well, it will be available to him. But yeah, it is also
Yeah.
faster than running out. It was pretty clear that was faster.
Yeah. Stocko did win the Altus race though, so down a square, but he has he has Rakshasas online now, and he's the first to Altus on a very Altus heavy board.
Question is, will he just hold +4 and prep Altus now, or will he go for something else? Maybe Everjails to keep pushing the diagonal?
I think he
Or
needs to go for
Stocko?
Altus. If he goes too hard into this, like pre-Altus prep, he could lose badly. Like there's a lot here that Stocko could take advantage of.
That is true, but let's see the prioritization. I think maybe Stocko will. Like the avatars gave Stocko enough comfort that he knows he can set up the map here. So he could
Yeah.
get very close to Sacred Flask charges before it's needed. But I still think Wormface is the most pressing one. And it will be pressing
Yeah.
right now because Helios is not holding this. He is going
Well,
straight to the Spirit Ash +4.
what I do like to see is that Stocko's just taking a little bit of time to grab some graces and things. Obviously, you need to win these squares, but you want to delay giving Helios the information that you're in Altus as much as you can without being sniped, right? It's impossible for Stocko to know exactly where he is. The Spirit Ash +4 mark will be a bit telling that, hey, Helios might not be in Altus yet. But yeah, it's once Helios knows Stocko's in Altus, Helios is going to have to just send Altus to contest. I do think the best thing for Stocko right now would be Helios doing a non-Altus square rather than getting towards Altus, and then Stocko being able to disguise his Altus prep a bit more. However, Helios going to Third Church, and
Indicates that's
Fort Height.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going Altus.
Yeah, and for Helios, it's not a bad call to do this now rather than earlier. I think he got a lot from the avatars and the Spirit Ash +4. Like he has two credible threats. He has all the money he needed to like pretty much be like right now he only dies if it's his fault, right? And he will be behind, but not too far behind that he cannot contest neither of the early squares. The problem is if Stocko plays this like perfectly, he could get 3 instead of 2 net positive from the early Altus squares. And I think he's going staves first.
Yeah.
Which is...
I think Stocko's scared that Spirit Ash +4 was the Watchdog Catacomb.
I think he should not. Like, it's pretty clear, like, if you're doing 3 avatars, what's the options, right? Like, you have 2 in Liurnia, you have 2 in Kaled, you have 1 in Weeping. Those are the options. Altus doesn't have an avatar. Like, only in Capital. So, if you do avatars and, like, immediately after Spirit Ash +4, it's pretty clear that you done the Black Knife Catacomb. It's pretty clear. At worst, like, if you think he's, like, incredibly fast, maybe the Cemetery Shades Catacombs just to get the...
Stocko grabbed the
mark. The mark was too close.
Yeah.
I actually don't like him getting the Somber 5 here.
Okay.
I think
fair enough.
He should get the Somber 5 on the way to Lightning Rain.
All right, fair.
Like, it's
I mean,
not
if
like
he
for
just
stave-
if he just gets these 2 staves and then pivots out, I think I'm totally fine with this. If he goes hard into staves, though, by the time he gets staves, he will have lost his Altus priority, and
he
that's
still
not
gets
worth
worm
it.
face though. He still gets
Yeah.
worm face though. And the one that he cannot lose is Sacred Flask though. Because getting staves means, okay, if I lose worm face, it's fine as long as I get Sacred Flasks. That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. But yeah, I think he's going hard on this. But to be honest, it's not gonna be that slow. Like, he already has
Yeah.
2. He's gonna get the 3rd here. As long as he doesn't go to Weeping for a 4th, like just do Liurnia, you should have it in 2 or 3 minutes.
I think he's going to Weeping. Either that or maybe he's just grabbing the Grace here for Everjails.
Yeah,
I really hope that's what he's doing. I don't think Weeping's a bad idea for a staff, like, at a different point in the game. But Altus is just so big on this board. You worked very hard and spent a lot of your early game getting Dectus. That's what Stocko built his early game around with Boss on Torrent and Millicent's Needle.
yeah, going
You don't
straight
want
now.
to change your entire game plan based on your opponent's markings, right? Like, when that game plan would have achieved the same goal, right? Like, effectively, it's the Spirit Ash +4 scaring Stocko, thinking that he doesn't actually have Altus priority when he did, but he's gonna lose it here. I mean, Helios will catch up to Helios might win Warface.
I think it actually it actually is actually giving him more comfort than he should. I think it's the opposite. I don't think he thought that was the Watchdog Catacomb. I think he thought that was so slow that Helios could not catch up. What he's
Yeah.
not considering is that one of the avatars is so close to Dectus that it was enough time for Helios to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses, if I'm Helios, I am more willing to not do Worm Face immediately and go for Sacred Flasks now.
I agree. Especially because while doing Sacred Flask, you can get deep Altus progress and prep some of the other squares, right? Like, you get deep into Altus for Ash of War Lightning Ram, and potentially gold free for later, right? You can
Exactly.
get that sort of preparation at the same time as getting the square.
Yeah, if only Weeping had golden seeds, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
It only
It
has
has
one,
one.
and it's very much out of the way.
Yeah. And
Now,
the
the
other
funny
thing too,
thing is,
like,
he might end up finding poker. That's the funny thing.
yeah, he will. He will
Why
definitely
is
find
he-
poker.
No, the question is, why is he going for this less? Like, does he have 5 or 4?
No, I think he has to. I think he doesn't have.
I think he has 4, and he's not getting the Glean Blade.
Well, he's gonna get the Lakeside Merchant, and then run up and kill tops.
I think that's slower. Okay,
He already
now
got
they're
the one on the
essentially-
tower.
They are essentially tied in all.
Yeah, at this point they're tied. Yeah, and Helios is going straight for Worm Face.
Yeah, that's a very bad situation right now for Stocko.
Yeah.
He actually didn't want to go for this one. He wanted the Glint Blade.
Two.
Why did you quit out?
I also forgot to equip the right physic. That's not good.
Yeah, now the only thing that can save Stocko is a Worm Face incident.
Yeah.
Because the stage's gonna block the row, but now he loses all his Alta's advantage.
Okay, we got
And
him.
loses the first square.
Oh, he gets Death Blighted though. He does go down.
Oh, okay. That was one of those instances where there's like instant death blight for some reason.
Well, no, it was just building up slow. He was outside the visual hitbox, but still in the actual hitbox. So it just
I
crept
didn't
up on
see
him.
the build up. I didn't see the build up at all. It doesn't help that it's dark here.
Yeah. No, it was building, and he did position himself visually outside of the Deathblight cloud, but he was still actually in it. The hitboxes on the Deathblight clouds are weird.
Now Stocko still needs
No,
another
this attack
death.
has no poise, right? I don't think that does any poise. Yeah. Okay, don't stand
But he's
light.
not going for that first.
I can attack the head because of that, but...
Okay, I'm seeing now
better
the.
I think
not
he's
be
going
able
for
to
Exaltation
die,
Fire Plate.
So. He did staves. Okay.
It is a good combo. But Flasks is so much more important that I am afraid. He
Yeah.
might get those 2 squares, but still have the diagonal facing him. But it's hard, right? Like you cannot be down in the majority game
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, it might be a Charges race. Nope, Stocko stays committed. The other thing too is Helios can get charges and
And Lightning Rain. It's
well,
pretty much
also
on the
yeah,
way. So he's gonna build 2 threats again. Yeah, I would grab that golden seed after Wormface, yes. Snowy. 100%. Right after the fight.
yeah.
You probably get Giagroed at that point. I probably don't grab your Somber 5 though. That
Yeah.
one's deadly.
Because you could also run past Wormface and then run up the hill.
Or Lightning Ran immediately.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Run up the hill and then back down for these golden
you go
seeds where he is
around,
now. Yeah.
Then you go around instead, like
Because
from
you
the
pick
other
up you
side.
pick up 2 golden seeds that way because you get the one right past Wormface and the one by the catapults.
Yeah, it's not even that bad to do it this way. The only difference is you don't get like a Grace by 3 Sentinel duo early, but I mean it's 5 bosses that ride a horse. You don't really want to do 3 Sentinel duo as one of them. It's too slow most of the time.
Yeah. Also, regardless of the outcome of this game, the playoffs will continue tomorrow. We will have Rambler versus Shura at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Also, if there is a game 3, that will most likely be tomorrow as well, either before or after Rambler Shura game 1 and 2. And I will be joined by the Ratman himself on commentary for both of those games.
La Rata. Staves proved to be a grave mistake indeed.
Yeah.
I thought it would be finer than this, but like it's gonna be very, very bad.
Yeah.
Unless he somehow gets sacrificed. I think he was at 6.
I mean,
so
there's
he still needs 6 more.
There's a chance because he did get some really out of the way seeds, and now he's going to pick up all of these here.
Yeah, he has 8 right now. He will need 2. He'll need these 2. He needs 2 more. He didn't upgrade his flasks at all.
How many more does Helios need?
He is upgraded, I think. So I'm not
Helios
sure.
has 6 flasks.
Okay, so he needs. If he has 6 total, that means he needs 10 golden seeds.
Okay.
He already has at least 6. He's going for 7 now.
Well, he's going for the same ones that Stocko was going for by the Exaltation Talisman. So equally slow route. Yeah, 9 got removed. We changed it to 10. We wanted to promote deeper Altus progression, so we changed that square to 10 instead of 9.
Stocko's grabbing the Roderica one.
Mm-hmm.
He should need only one more.
Five, 6, 7, 8,
He has one blue.
9. Yeah, I'm counting the blue. All right, he needs another seed, at least one more.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to go for that one and turn around and get the lightning ram.
Yeah.
That way he blocks both, but
Is it 3 seeds or 4 to get from 9 to 10?
3.
Thank you.
It's 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, 5-5.
I don't know. I really should have known that. That's so simple. That's so simple.
Right?
Yeah, that's so simple when you say it like that.
Oh no, the catapult. Yeah, you should turn around immediately and level, or do that. That works as well.
I mean, this might be barely a snipe. I think this might be Helios' final seed.
No. Stocko got it.
No, okay, yeah, he needs one more. Stocko got the square, though.
Crisis
This is
averted on the
maybe
diagonal,
the
but not on the
fastest one.
column yet.
But it's an easy one, so. I should be 9 seeds? Yeah, I think I saw 9. So we're good. This is the last one. No way!
C4 is a problem for Helios, but he already got a grace on the way to the fire prelay.
He's also very far ahead on rune level 55 by virtue
Oh,
of
they're
killing
both
the
going for it. They're both
putrid
going.
avatar. Oh my
Prelate
god.
race.
Stocko needs this. Stocko needs this. He has to have it. Poker's gonna melt, but Helios is sitting to level.
No time for a quit out.
Helios does quit out. Stocko gets slammed.
Still alive.
No! Stocko goes down.
He's just doing the safe strat. But
He
doesn't
messed
work.
it up. He missed the kukri. You can throw a kukri at those pots and then he gets
Oh, he doesn't even
distracted.
stop for that, huh? He's a Giga Chad. Oh no!
Oh my god, he got mega comboed.
No, Stocko's back in the lead.
Helicoptered! Look at this prelate. He looks at Helios like he says, yeah. Now let's see.
Okay.
Oh my god. Stocko being very...
Stocko gets a stagger and a bleed. This should do it.
And
Stocko
that's
gets the
a
square.
square!
That's a huge snipe for Stocko.
Fuck me, dude!
Oh my god. And this
Helios
is
has to
huge.
pivot and we have a tie game. It was looking dire for Stocko because he very well could have lost Sacred Flash charges and prelate.
Yes. And now he's going for Scarcius. He's pushing the line.
Helios is so far ahead on level though.
I mean, he is, but he's gonna stop everything for rune level 55. That might be enough for Stocko to get a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, if I was Stocko, I would not do Scarcius right now. I would do Lightning Ram. I would do I
Well,
would
this is
consider doing
Stocko
ruined
Sunday.
bosses.
Well, this is Stocko Sunday we're talking about. And you know Stocko likes to live with his life on the line, baby.
He
The
does
bingo
live by the
line.
bingo line. He does live by the bingo line. And I think we're going to get like a push here. Like,
Helios is
This
going
kind of-
Draconic to set up Gold Tree for later. This will also be a horse boss to promote his own line on column 5.
the
So
funny thing
if
is, like,
Helios can get the block with RL55, we very well might see him transpose into his own bingo line on column 5.
Let's see. The thing is, like, DTS is not gonna be enough to get close to that first. Like, he would still need a lot of Dragon Ball bosses.
Yeah. Well, so will Stocko.
Yeah, but I don't think. I think Stocko is trying to prevent the easy block so he can buy even more time. I don't think he's thinking he
Helios
can push
dies to
the
DTS. Are we seeing
Oh
cracks in
my
Helios' armor?
God.
Has Stocko cracked him with those 2 snipes?
I think. I mean, Helios is laughing, but I think deep down he's probably concerned he might lose
Yeah.
this one.
It was so comfortable for Helios, and then those 2 snipes. The game could change on a dime.
Okay, so Stocko, I think it's interesting. I think he's going for the colossal square now. Or this is a problem. Like, he's getting indecisive. He doesn't know what to do now. Like, he got the Scar Seal, and I think he wants to do Radon with the colossal.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I think he should push a block on column 5 or like either or, right? I guess row 5 is also a danger, but like it is a danger that Helios can block with something that pushes column 5. He has Knight Rider Flail? Okay. Okay, that changes things.
Motherfucker, get out of
Because he
here.
does have the dex for it, and he does have Rot Grease.
Stocko might be trying to set up something cheeky on row 5. Do Radon with 1. He does not have Knight Rider Flail, by the way. That was Morningstar. At least I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see that. And
Yeah.
Flails go above.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where he would get that actually. Like when you think about it, it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, right?
It would have been in front of. He did a lot of merchant checks. Maybe if you got it from a random merchant, but I didn't see it. But no, I'm pretty sure that was the Morningstar that looked like Knight Rider's Flail.
Yeah, and
Which
he
is
just like
understandable.
it's clear as day. He's going through whips and flails. His counter bingo.
Yep.
Now that's where like I think like I said the other game, that's where Stocko is dangerous because he is thinking, okay, counter bingo. I'm fine on row 5. He needs to respect this, right? And then boom,
Yeah.
Scarcius appears, and then Helios is afraid of going for Lightning Ram. He ends up going for Dragon Barrel, loses time. That's
okay, that was whatever.
What Stocko's doing. He's going for Scarcius.
Yeah, he's going for Scar Seals.
Whatever.
I mean, having
gonna be
Radon set up for money is not bad.
Yeah, no.
Especially because
And I mean-
Stocko's in Weeping, so if he were to get close, he could always dupe the Radon Remembrance for an extra 40k.
He leveled more into the weapon than Helios did.
Yeah, but
I think, but Helios have got the 91k
Yeah.
avatar. So yeah, the bingo is too slow.
yeah, Helios's bingo is too slow.
No, I mean Stocko's is even slower.
Yeah.
Much slower actually.
Then column 5? I don't think so.
Column 5 is very fast. You have a weapon that can kill Knight's Cavalry like it's nothing.
I suppose so, but all Stocko really needs to do is kill Radon and 2 bosses in Dragon Barrel after he gets the Scar Seal. At worst.
I think he needs more than that.
And that would be 300,000 basically. A little bit less, 290 something.
I mean,
hell, he has rot and poison.
No,
Literally
the
just
thing
bleed
is-
Grail. Like it sounds insane, but I bled Grail for the win against Rambler in the first game we ever played. We were racing
Yeah.
for RL55 and I bled Grail to win.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
he was-
And the worst thing is, Helios is not actually respecting the threat.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he kind of like went for Godric, like got Godric prepared, but he's actually doing Goldafoy. He's doing God bosses.
Well, this is great synergy. It's God bosses, Everjail, and icons.
Yeah,
It
but
progresses towards
I mean-
3 squares, none of them being the crucial square, though. I think this might be a situation where it's like if Helios can get out of this jam that he's in via he's about to be in via the column 4, whether it's through like, to be fair, that jam could create another jam because Stocko could avoid rune level 55 and create a different threat elsewhere, maybe on the row 5. But if Helios can get out of this jam, he's looking good. But
Motherfucker,
he
get outta
is
here.
he's looking
not
good
putting
for
himself in-
majority.
Yeah.
I mean, Anna, I think you're right, but like
I honestly
set.
think he maybe should have done it. Yeah.
Radan's pretty much set now. Like at least he set it up,
Yeah.
and it is a boss that rides a horse, so like he could try to get the block that way.
Tundra, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. And for the hype trade, thank you so much.
It's amazing hype train, and we are
Yeah.
at a very hype game right now, so
Yeah.
it fits.
Tundra, thank you so much. You're the best. You have a great day.
Garcia's is marked.
Yeah, there's Scar Seals. Helios' eyes are real big.
Right. He cannot have prepped more than this. There's no way.
Yeah, Helios is losing his mind. Stocko's thinking about... I'm told Stocko's trying to pivot. Stocko's idea is to do row 5.
Yeah, and he might be able to. He might be able to get away with
Yeah.
it because is Helios going to go now for Godric?
I think he is.
They're gonna be tied. But no, wait. Where's Stocko? Oh, he's going for the int tier.
Yeah. Helios calling the bluff in this spot's insane. Like, just insane.
I mean, Godric helps him get some
Yeah.
money, right?
And 40k?
And
And it's going to be a slow fight with a flail?
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything, but Rakshasa kills those dragons pretty fast.
But Stocko's not going for it.
He's not, but he does.
Oh, he's not, not going for in level 55.
I understand why he's not going for room level 55. He's
Yeah,
21 right now. He's very far. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I can- let me
Radon,
get up
it's
over-
the tree, it's Grail. I think that combination
216. Okay.
could make it.
So I get
but-
there with this plus.
Yeah, Stocko would need
Motherfucker, that thing is so long.
318,000
Okay, we're not doing that again.
to get to
Okay,
RL55.
So
So that's
it's
that's
the
like-
tree, it's Grail and plus.
Yeah, and plus dupe or bridge grill.
It's too much. Pushing row 5 is a better option, but
Yeah.
he should be concerned with the column. So he should get lightning rain now.
Ivy,
Or
thank you so
Helios
much for the
doing
subs and the
something.
bits.
This is as good a family heads fight as it can be.
Yeah. Oh. Or Tundra, sorry, thank you so much for the gifted. I apologize. I gotta get used to
I think I get
my
to
overlay
212.
being different.
No, I think I get the foul foot anyway.
Thank you so much, Tundra.
Stocko's gonna be in the fight when this happens.
Yeah, this is really bad for Stocko. Yeah, Stocko, because he's gonna
Yeah.
like you could always do Colossal, but he needs to preserve Godric to do Colossal, right? So he's just gonna have to
Yeah.
quit out.
Not only that, but like now he will need to guess what column 5 is going to be.
Yeah.
Like, and he should do lightning ram because he is gonna be behind on horse bosses.
God, this is brutal for Stocko.
No,
I mean,
yeah, I'm
it's a
pretty-
tie game. Shockingly, it's 6-6.
I am pretty sure, Snowy, that it would be faster to do C5 because doing the bosses takes a long time. Like Knight's Cavalry dying 1 minute with that Spoker. Like,
Stocko's just gonna kill him.
Is he trying to get the
I mean, it still is a god
levels?
boss and a shard bearer and runes.
Colossal.
I might need to sell something, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's too late now. The deed is done. And Helios is going to the block.
Motherfucker. No, 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 no. Ugh. How did I live?
Oh my god.
Is Stocko thinking row 4?
He wants to do row 4. He needs to be quick. Like, because Radon is the slowest horse boss there is.
Yeah.
And you would like to pair that with DTS. DTS already killed for Helios.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fast enough.
Sit down.
Yeah, Stocko was never really in play for room level 55. He was way too low of a level.
That was a good hit. That was bad. Okay, got the boys still. No!
Oh, this is too
Oh, Helios
close.
dies!
I might have lost. I might have just lost.
And he has a lot of money on the
Just lost.
pocket. He needs to go grab it. Make sure he grabs it, otherwise room level 55 takes even longer.
I mean, this is huge for Stocko because Stocko's not going to win room level 55 unless something insane happens. But it's buying Stocko time, which is what he needs.
Yeah. Yeah, and while he doesn't mark anything, he just doesn't know. Doesn't know if they're doing the same thing.
Because I will say Helios is better prepped for these remaining squares. He's ahead on god bosses. He's ahead on Everjails. He's ahead on icons. He has DT. He's ahead on horse bosses in a way gold free because he has DTS dead already. Stocko getting time is huge.
Dragon went very far from him.
Yep.
Now another red done. Bleed incoming.
There it is.
This is +4, by the way, folks.
Yeah.
This is not +6. This is +4.
Rakshasas is insane.
It's the best katana for Abaddon. I tested it. Like, it's...
All right, Helios gets
Not-
Grail down. So that death didn't buy Stocko a lot of time, but I'm sure he'll take any death and any time sink he will take at this point.
And another hitless Verdun.
Yep, another Helios Radon. Helios has to sell stuff.
He sold even the Rakshasa katana.
Yeah. Okay, Stocko's going horse bosses now.
They're tied at 1.
Yep, there's rune level 55 for Helios. Think Helios is going ruins bosses? I don't think it's going to be almost impossible for Stocko to get this row 4. I think he needs to give it up.
I think he needs to at least force an exultation. So get this and Eleonora in quick succession.
Yeah.
And then maybe try exultation still, but knowing full well that it's a desperate play.
He
The
can't
good thing
finish
about-
horse bosses. He can maybe do this Knight's Cap here,
Whoa,
and then
whoa,
he
whoa,
needs
whoa,
to...
whoa, whoa, I'm not dying.
I think it
Hold
needs to be
on.
horse bosses last.
No. He doesn't have time for that.
Well, if he sets up 3...
I'm not Nartok.
Tree Scent Duo is 1 boss, so they are it's 1 horse boss.
There we go.
Yeah, Helios is in prime position for majority. I cannot see
Yeah.
that. Like Stocko, I don't think even got the Grace inside, so even misbegotten bosses is not exactly his square by having done Radon. He's gonna kill the Nice Cavalry before it dismounts.
Yeah, he's just going for horse bosses here. Helios is going for Eleonora.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is what I was worried about. That's why I was saying horse bosses last, because Eleonora and Exaltation are just both very easy to get, right? Like easy to snipe.
Yeah, that's true. But like pursuing flails was the worst part. By the way, a tone, a very fast square that could be the first, still on the board.
What is that hitbox? I don't understand it. Troll. Oh my god.
Also, I think the thought process for Stocko here was flails was marked, and then there was 55.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Radon.
Yep.
So he's afraid he's doing horse bosses now. But in any case, what Helios is doing is the good double play. The double prep. Sorry. He is going for what
Ruins
is he
now?
actually going for? Yeah, he's doing ruins bosses in a way that puts him closer to Eleonora. But also like right now he could lose by row 1 or by row 4. This way he's doing both. So he's gonna get his blocks in quick succession.
Yep.
And if he gets sniped on one, at least he blocked the other, and he has some progression towards the other potential blocks, like
That's
Exultation,
not helpful.
or Ever Jails, or God bosses. Noble
That's
and
not
Rick?
helpful,
No,
man.
he would do Apostle. There's no reason to do Volcano Manor at this
Oh.
point. Zero reason.
Helios is going for Eleonora here.
Leonora is a tricky girl.
Yeah, but the explosion part of the Death Poker Ash is very good against NPCs. It just sends them back. See, she goes flying every single time. One more hit. There's Eleonora down. Very nicely done by Helios.
And Stocko gets his 5th horse boss at the same time. And they trade blocks. Now there's only one bingo available. Actually, two. Helios can still do column 3.
Yeah. Yeah, and Helios is about to get Ruins. Boss has taken 9-7 lead. Stocko's chasing. Not going to get it. This is Helios's... Is it his 3rd Ruins boss? Wait, did he
Yes.
do... He did Gillica?
No.
Yeah, he didn't do
Gillica
Sanguine.
only. He didn't do Sanguine nor Pumpkin.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Actually, could Stocko get this?
there is a chance. If he doesn't grab Ritual Sword, there is a chance. Because Revenant is his final.
Yeah. Don't grab Ritual Sword, Stocko. Just go straight to Rev. Fuck.
Grabbed it. Maybe still make it.
Revenant, Stocko! That's...
Yeah, this is not the correct call. He's going for icons.
Yep.
I mean, there's a world where he can still get icons if Helios doesn't go for it after runes.
It didn't one shot, huh? Oh, no, it did.
I mean, yeah, but is there a world where he can get... Stocko's just bleeding time. Like, he's behind and he's bleeding time, right? Like, that Gillica fight was for nothing. For nothing, right? I guess he got Ritual Sword, but it was effectively for nothing, right? That was just a time bleed.
Now there's only column 3 available.
And Helios
could
can go get...
bingo it, but I
Helios-
don't think he will.
Helios can also just go get Icons and Turtle Pope.
Yeah, and this will be a snipe if he goes for Radagon immediately. Because Stocko doesn't have any academy progress as well. Even if he gets this fast kill here, only if he just prioritize a tone, but there's no reason why he would. He already has Godfrey's icon. You do that first and then you go a tone. Yeah, I don't think there's a comeback from here.
I mean, not at least there always is a comeback with snipes and incidents, but at least not like a obvious winning line, or like by line I mean line of play.
Like, because icons, like, the only thing that, like, they are tied at Everjails after this. But losing icons puts him at 10-7. Uh, a tone could put 11-7. Uh, Even if Stocko takes Everjails and somehow God bosses because he does have Godric killed, it's still 11-9. He would have to get Lightning Ram and Godfrey. Godfrey should be his final square. Exultation he needs. He needs Everjails.
Yeah.
So right now, what would be the best play for Stocko would be to uh, get Everjails. And I think that's maybe what he's going
Maybe
for.
what he's doing, yeah.
Oh, actually, he's ahead on Everjails because he did Scar Steals. Okay,
Yeah.
so he might get this before Helios atones, but not before Helios marks icons.
Yeah.
And that's important in terms of like first mover advantage, right? Like, because icons into a tone is a good play for Helios. Stocko will think that and not pursue a tone or Radagon.
Stocko tried to greed the weed cutter and went down to a Don on one when he was on 1 HP.
Let's be honest, Adon used the R2 there.
Yeah.
He will be banned from PvP because he was using a clear cheat there.
I
Fuck you. Walk off. No, you're getting smashed in the head. Just fucking die, you idiot.
All right, there's the third Evergel for Stocko. Helios about to get icons. That'll put him at 10.
Yeah, Bloodhound Knight should be fast enough that he will mark this a little bit
Before a tone.
after icons. So
Yeah.
that means Helios will keep going for a tone, or if he ports, that could be good for Stocko. He ported to Roundtable. That is good.
Helios.
And also,
Fuck me.
no bingos are possible anymore because
Yeah, all
Column
bingos.
3
This
requires
is just a
4
race to
squares.
13.
It's a race to 13.
Yeah, it's Exaltation Talisman though for Helios.
Yeah, that's a good call by him. Like he well, the Everjails mark. I mean, unlikely,
Stocko's
but
also.
you could think
he's
that
losing-
was a heavy snipe.
One thing I'm noticing is Stocko's. It's small chunks of time, but over the course of a 90-minute game, it adds up. He's losing time to indecision. Like you can see his warps and stuff are just not as committed, and he's thinking. And I know it's like 1 second here, 2 seconds there, whatever, but you warp a lot in bingo. You move around a lot, and over the long run of a game, you can lose minutes to indecision. And at this, if you're playing Helios, if you're losing minutes to indecision, it's very difficult to win.
Yeah, no, like when you're porting like that, it's like obviously like we get indecisive all the time during a match like this. But it's very very bad because like you don't notice how long you take, how many minutes you lose in that kind of situation. The same way you perceive like I don't know, like a bad route or something that usually is more
Yeah.
inconsequential than porting back and forth to places. He's gonna go for Lightning Ram. Helios has a pretty clear path here. Exultation into a tone into god bosses because he only needs two more.
Yeah. Stocko's going Lightning Ram.
Okay, so yeah, this should be fine for Helios. Like even poisoned, it's like it's a very simple fight. Just jump, attack twice, and you get a stagger.
The other one got procced. That's funny.
This is the weirdest Kindred of Rot fight I've ever seen.
Yeah. Not the most perfect. Sometimes
I think we found a boss that Death Poker is not good for.
I think it is okay as long as you don't try to use it as Death Smoker. Just jump attack, be happy.
Looks like
Stocko's
Stocko
double
might be a
prepping.
God Boss's race here.
Yeah. They are tied at 2.
Yeah.
And Helios is taking the long path to Apostle, actually. Like, if you have that grace, you can just, like, run north, and you're gonna pretty much do the same time. Unless your loading screens are terrible. In that case, you do better by just running up. But Stocko is going back to round table now. To upgrade,
I got what?
huh?
Oh, Lightning Ram. He was just prepping it and then going Lightning Ram, it seems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very bad situation. He's not gonna get the snipe that he needs. He's not gonna get the snipe that he needs. It does make sense.
All right, so Helios just needs
Nice.
Rick.
Yeah.
Stocko is murdering sheep. Great meme square.
Great meme square. But he's getting memed now by the sheep.
Oh no. He's out of FP, so it takes 3 rolls to kill the sheep. How many more sheep do you need, Stocko?
He missed a lot in the beginning.
He's still going. The sheep is running. Is that okay? There's 10.
That will be another snipe now.
Yeah,
There's no chance. There's no chance for him.
no chance. Unless Rick actually proves to be the hardest boss in Elden Ring. I think Stocko's cooked here on God
Yeah,
bosses.
I think even Rick from New Game Plus 19 would still die in one hit to this Death Smoker.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
Helios can pick and choose. Like,
I think
could
he just goes
like,
hard. I think he just goes hard to tone. There's no reason not to.
But that's Helios we're talking about.
Yeah, he is.
Well, that should be a 2-minute square at this point for him.
Yeah.
Stocko also cannot contend.
Yeah, so this will be the set
okay.
2 Helios. Him and Narutok will be the first two to advance to the semifinals. We will not be able. Matchups are very dependent upon who gets through. There is a logic to it, but it's a bit complicated. Probably once we know tomorrow, once we get the result of the Rambler Shura set, that'll be the next set we get the result for. We'll be able to tell what the possible scenarios are pretty easily, depending on the outcome of Nexus versus Strump. Regardless, though, I mean, it was a great two games here from Helios. Particularly, I thought he played very, very well in the game 2. Stocko did his best to, create counterplay, and he did a great job. He should be proud of himself. He played a great game and had a great season. We'll get to talk to Stocko more about that after this, but he should hang his head. He should keep his head held high. He played very well. 2 very exciting bingo games. He proved that he can play at this. He proved for sure that he can play on this level. On a different day, he very well could have got him. But unfortunately, it was not today for Stocko. We'll talk more with him afterwards. But yeah, I mean, Helios gets another playoff win, and we're gonna see what he can do in the next round. Whoever he plays.
Yeah. The only guarantee it's not gonna be me, even if I go through, because we are in the set. We were from the same division, right? So, and our talk already got it, or maybe not, right? If it's Trump, I think it's me. And
if you win and Strump wins, then you would play Helios.
Okay.
But that is the game.
What a game. Aside from that double snipe, I don't think anything went wrong that game. Oh, the bingo, I guess. The bingo line pressure and dying to a Gil Jr. or Senior? A Gil Senior. It's a Gil Senior. Yeah, that was loads of fun, though. That was loads of fun. I'm very glad that the games were like this.
All right. Well, GG's to Helios. We're going to bring Helios in. Stocko will join the call when he is ready. Welcome in, Helios. Welcome in.
Yo.
GG's. Congratulations on the win. 2-0, but 2 really fun games. Really enjoyed both of those. I'm kind of curious your thoughts, particularly going back to game 1. Like, that game was so close. At the end, it was comfortable, but there were so many snipes that could have gone this way or that way in that one. Could you sense that while you were playing, like that you were getting the snipes, and it was, especially in the end game, could have been a lot closer than it looked, or what was kind of going through your head after that game 1 and during it?
I knew. I didn't know obviously, but I had a feeling that we were kind of sniping each other back and forth a little bit. I don't know which of those squares were snipes, obviously, but it kind of felt like it was, especially after 12 incants, because where did he get the money for that, right?
Yeah, you got him on Renala by a few seconds. You got him on Falling Star Beast by a few seconds, and
damn.
He, after you went for BBK, he went for BBK. He was using Stormhawk Axe, and he was one shot. But he had 2 very, very clean fights. Got him down to 25% and just got clipped twice.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
That pretty much swung the match, because it was before Memory of Grace, before Renala. So there were a lot of opportunities to be obtained from going for that square, as you clearly realized, because you went for it.
Yes,
yeah.
I just wasn't him today. I couldn't get the PBK down until I had vigor.
Yeah, and I'm curious in this game too. In the face of a massive bingo threat, you went for Whip's Flails and sniped Stocko on it. Can you talk us through? Can you talk us through that a bit?
So in my head, I'm like, he went Scar Seals. There is no way he's prepped 55, and I am ahead on it because I killed the Putrid Avatar and Dragon Barra. So I am taking the risk, which it wasn't even that much of a risk because the Godric runes helped towards the 55.
Yeah.
So that was sort of my thought process. I definitely should have got a foul foot on one of those bigger kills, but that's hindsight.
Yeah, and I know Helios, you love playoff bingo. Like you seemed just have like especially obviously after winning, but like just in general, you seem to just have a really great attitude and smile on your face kind of throughout the match. You seem like you really relish playing in these big spots. How are you able to control that and just enjoy it rather than not feel the pressure?
I was feeling the pressure quite a bit in the first part of the first game. Nerves kind of settled down. Like it's not like I'm playing a perfect computer. I'm just playing another human being. I win, I lose. It's fine. I'm here to have fun. I want to have fun. Like, yeah, that's sort of the mentality, right? I don't want to stress about things I can't control.
Well, that's very fair, and Stocko, we'll get to you in just a second.
Very
But
wise.
Helios, obviously, you're the first of two semifinalists. You and Nartok will both advance. Uh, can you talk to us a little bit? Going into the next round, into the semifinals, how are you feeling? Is there anyone you'd particularly like to play, not like to play? Any little bit of tidbit of information you can give us?
I don't know how exactly the matchups are structured because I read the rules so long ago that I forgot.
You can pretty
But
much, depending on how it works out, you could pretty much play any one of Nexus, Shura, Nartok, Strump, Rambler. I think I got everybody. Did I miss
okay,
someone? I think that was
I
all
don't want to play
six.
any of them because they're all scary. But I would like to play Nartok or Nexus in the finals if it comes to that. So yeah, I definitely don't want to play either of them yet.
Well, that is very fair, and congratulations to you, Helios, on the win. Uh,
Thank you.
and good luck to you in the next round. Now, Stocko, man, GG's,
Hey.
dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you're disappointed, but you played two really great games today. Very fun and entertaining matches to watch. And we all appreciate everything that you've done. You've also been such an integral member of everything with Bingo. We'll talk about you as a player first. You're without a doubt the most improved player in Elden Squares from season 1 to season 2. That is not close. You went from going 1-5 1-4 last season to undefeated in qualifiers, 5-3 this season. You made it to playoffs. You played two very strong games against Helios. And just thank you for everything that you do and all the work that you've put in. I know it's I'm sure it stings a bit now, but I want you to know that you're an inspiration with how much you've improved and how much you've committed to the game, and just thank you so much for that. Additionally, as an organizer, Stocko and Rambler are effectively running the Crucible for me. I'm basically just a figurehead at this point. They do everything. They're incredible. Everything about Elden Squares would not be the same without Stocko. Hell, the league might have never even existed if not for Stocko, because he was the one who was kind of running it first before I hijacked it from him. But man, Stocko, I love you like a brother, dude. Thank you so much for everything. And I just want to give you the floor to say whatever's on your mind, man.
Yeah, thank you, Hooser. I really, really appreciate the kind words, man. That means a lot. And yeah, I love bingo. It's been a passion project since I started. I mean, not since I started streaming, since I started doing this whole Twitch thing and I met everybody. Bingo is incredible. And I don't know what else really to say about bingo, but it's been a great season. And you know, it feels like a last hurrah kind of thing, because I don't know when we'll ever play like a I don't know when I'll ever play like a season like this with competition so high. And you know, I felt like I was kind of in my bingo prime. So you know, it's sort of like a retirement from competitive bingo for me. But it's been awesome, and I really, really appreciate everyone who's been part of it. Couldn't have done it without you too, Hooser. So love you as well, man. Thank you. And GG's to you, Helios. Yeah, those were great games. Couldn't pull the trigger, but came close. So I can't be mad at myself.
Well,
GG's.
GG's. Stocko, obviously, you know, we'd love to see. I know you're very excited about the 2v2 format. We'd love to see you play in that later on this year. But this does, if this is your last competitive game, you know, you left your heart out there, and you're amazing, and
Thank you.
you proved that you can play with the best in the world, and I want you to know that. On a different day, you could have won. You proved
Hell
that.
yeah.
I want you to know that. And congratulations for everything. So thank you so much, guys. Helios, Stocko, thank you both so much for a wonderful set. Rambler, thank you for wonderful commentary and joining me. Chat, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
watching, all the support. I want to make it very clear, it would not be the same experience for either of us casting or anyone else or any of the others watching without all of you here. This experience, you know, we try to keep up with chat as best we can, and every single one of you are a piece that makes up this very special league and group. So thank you all so much. Thank you for the follows, the subs, the support. It really is appreciated. And with that being said, that will be it from us.
Please become Elden Lord.